everybody, welcome to Impossible Coin. I am Brian Cartwright. I am joined by Rocky Hardy.
Yeah, that's me.
And Tegan Somerset.
Yep, over here.
And we are here to talk about video games and video game related stuff.
Oh shit, this is a trap.
You know it's a trap.
Yep.
Wait, I'm sorry, what's a trap?
Well, Brian, you have literally never began the show by saying that we're here to talk about video games and video game related content. And we often definitely get into the weeds about whatever it is that we're talking about before we actually get into video games. So I am noticeably wary of this new development.
I feel like there's been some pretty hard pushback on non-video game related content from you guys recently, and also bits at the beginning of the show, and so this is me trying to respond to feedback.
Fair enough. Okay. That's different. Please continue.
So, in other news, fuck you.
In other news, got him.
Damn. It's like, I just love this, like, oh, wait a minute here. Brian's an asshole, so this can't possibly be sincere.
All right.
Fuck you. All right.
In other news, Brian, you definitely got Rocky.
Yeah, I got today. That's fine. It's okay.
Shit.
We take those.
Anyway, you fuckers want to talk about video games? Like,
yeah, that sounds cool. Let's do it.
all right.
Yeah, tell me about the one video game that has recently conquered your life, Brian.
Oh!
And the associated hardware that I do believe you are playing it on.
Oh, God.
Fuck. All right. Let me tell you everybody about my negative Elden Ring experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought Elden Ring. And I bought it on PC. And I installed on the GPD Win Max. So I am playing it on a handheld with a clamshell form factor. So that feels pretty fun. It makes me pretend that I am playing Elden Ring on the 3DS. And I started playing it. And the game kind of like, I would say, like gently nudges you toward making your opening character one of 3 classes before revealing all of the other classes. It's like, hey, look at these 3 classes. And then when you actually get into the character creator, it's like, and here's a whole buttload of other ones. I think one of the classes is called like No Pants Idiot. I think Rocky you might have classed as No Pants Idiot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the most flexible class, actually.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I was like, the game seems to be nudging you toward one of these 3 from the initial prompt that it shows. So I'm going to assume that if you just don't know what the fuck you're doing, that's the way to go. And so I selected one of those. I said, I shall be a vagabond.
It's like vagabond, warrior, and shit.
I think it was like hero or knight or something like that.
Hero, because it's like beefy tank, and then like strength, or like not max strength, but like strength balance, and then like dex. Yeah, sure.
Right. So I select vagabond, and don't really deviate too much. Just a little from like the default appearance of the vagabond. I make my vagabond look like a lady in her mid-50s. And so I'm like, all right. And my Elden Ring install finished like just as Rocky started playing it on stream. So like I jumped off to go play. And so like I guess if I had hung around for like 2 more minutes, I would have found out what happens is like, so you show up in like this place, the Chapel of Anticipation. You got to find a finger. And then once you find the finger, you can leave the room. And then there was a thing that like Rocky pointedly decided not to do that I did. He saw this like little spot where he's like, yeah, that's a trap. Like if you go off the side.
Right. And you walk off and you just like die because you fall into like the infinite.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I was like, is it a trap? Yes, it's a trap. I made sure to downvote that guy's little note that he left.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Jerk.
He knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
You know what the fun thing is? If you, I don't know if you put down a message on the map yet, but every time your message gets appraised, you get a notification. So like, that guy knew that like you downloaded his message as soon as you sent it.
Good. I'm glad he knows.
He probably, every time he sees it, he probably goes, ha ha. Got him.
You were saying Brian.
All right. And so then I crossed the rickety little bridge where I proceeded to have like this thing show up from out of fucking nowhere and like absolutely murder me.
Happened to me too.
Yeah. And I think that's the way it's supposed to go.
As far as we can tell, there hasn't been anyone that's cleared it yet, and you need to die to like meet Melina. So I think it is like story required.
Yeah. So that happened. And so then I awaken in the Dark Souls Hilton and I take an elevator. Now, apparently there's some people who are like, there's another direction you could have gone than the elevator. I don't understand what that would have been.
Like, did you go up the stairs to like the left, or did you jump off like the cliff thing?
Up the stairs to the left.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't do that either. I jumped off the cliff thing, and when you do that, the game takes you through the tutorial, or you can skip the tutorial and go up the stairs.
Oh, fuck off, game! What the fuck? What? All right, whatever.
I'm sorry,
like,
bro.
What the fuck?
I kind of thought this might have happened, but I did want to make sure. But yeah, like the game will tell you, like, oh, hey, this is how you swing a weapon. These are different kinds of weapons. Enemies will behave like this. You can do backstabs this way, and like it does all of that stuff. Like it just like explains how all the game mechanics work. Or if you already know,
but you have the opportunity to skip it.
Yeah, by going up the stairs.
That is definitely going to make like the replayability of the game simpler because you'll be able to skip you won't have to go through the tutorial every time.
I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there, though. Like, making it pretty easy to not experience your tutorial at all.
Yeah.
Just by going up a fucking flight of stairs. Like,
I understand why that would be uniquely frustrating, yeah.
Are we going to call it unique, though? Like,
I don't know. Most games seem to force me to do tutorials as opposed to, like, allow me to accidentally skip them. But maybe I am tuned in a way where like I gravitate to tutorials anyways, so I'm not entirely sure.
I just think that like in a world where games don't have like a wealth of documentation anymore associated with them, it's not like this game came with a fucking text file telling you how to play it, right?
It didn't trigger the adventure guide when you started it on Steam.
Adventure guide? When
I open Elden Ring on Steam, it gives me a little Steam like box and it tells me play Elden Ring or open Elden Ring Adventure Guide. An adventure guide gives you sort of like a manual like level of like explanation of like the game, its opening classes, and like a little bit about the world.
So you're telling me this actually does come with an instruction booklet?
I think so, yeah. That's what I'd call it.
It's just a digital instruction booklet.
I hate everything about my life.
It sounds like you just click through too fast.
You missed some
for
things.
that part.
It happens. It's okay. That's why we're here.
Yeah, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with skipping stuff on accident that you don't know to expect.
True.
So then, I take the elevator up. And I walk out of the Dark Souls Hilton.
Okay.
Into the big, beautiful world. And that first moment when you walk out of the Dark Souls Hilton has this whole like horizon of adventure feel where you're just like, you see the big world and you're like, look at the big world and all the big world has to offer. That's so nice. It's so beautiful out here. And so then I trundle down the hill, and I just see some fucking nerd standing there and I walk up to...
Oh, the guy that's like, no maidens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see that guy and I walk up to him and I talk to him. And he's like, hello, governor, you're a piece of shit.
He really does, yeah.
He's like, you suck forever, you won't succeed at anything, everyone thinks you're a turd, fuck you.
You know you could kill him, right? He could say that to you and you could hit him with your weapon and he will die.
Well, that's the next part of my story, Rocky.
Oh, gang, let's go, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so then I said, oh yeah? So then I was like, you just told me how much I eat shit. I wonder if I can hit you. At which point, I hit him. At which point, he came for me.
Yeah, that sounds like something he'd do, actually.
Yes. He came hard for me, Rocky. He proceeded to kill me.
He has like faith magic or something. Did he hit you with a fireball?
He did, in fact, hit me with a fucking fireball.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That'll happen. So that's what you were tweeting about before. You show up, you met the dude, he talks shit. He gets hit, but then he roasts you. That is an experience. Yeah.
So he kills me, and then I respawn down in the bottom of the Dark Souls Hilton.
Okay.
And then the next dumb thing I had to do was figure out how to lower the elevator, because the elevator's already up.
Oh, yeah, you gotta do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that involved, like, finding the lever, pulling the lever, standing in the middle of the elevator, going back up. Only now, when I walk out into the big, beautiful world, that fucking guy is already angry.
Because you hit him.
Because I hit him.
He did hit.
So
I mean, to be fair, if you were randomly talking to some dude and he hit you,
well, he was,
and you saw him again, it would be on sight. Like,
Ticket, he was talking shit though. Like, he wasn't a friend. That's not what was happening.
So as I walk out,
nobody in Dark Souls is your friend.
Hey,
so as I approach the door, right, he's already charging toward the door.
Yeah, he could hear you coming up the stairs. Yeah,
that is correct. Yeah, so he is already running up the fucking hill, and I'm like, oh no!
Ready.
And
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. Oh no.
And so I back up, and I discover that he can't cross the threshold into the Dark Souls Hilton. He's not allowed into the Dark Souls Hilton. For some reason, he can't come in the door. But he's like, well, fuck you. At which point, he throws another fireball through the door.
Amazing.
And I'm like, oh God. And so I stand, because the way the top of the staircase is kind of shaped is like a T shape.
Right.
On either side of the door, there are like these like giant like clay pot things. And so I smash one so I can get further over. So that way I'm outside of the range of that fireball that he can throw through the door, because he seems like he can throw it like straight through the door. At which point he does a different thing, Rocky.
Okay.
I don't know what these things are. The best way to describe them is a swarm of black and red bees.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
It's a spell. You can get it, I'm pretty sure. It's been in older games.
Don't worry. I got it. And by got it, I mean I got it in the face. So because the fireball can no longer hit me because of where I'm standing,
he's using the tracking bees to hit you now.
He's throwing this like swarm of black and red bees at me, which just comes in through the door and just swings around the corner.
Yep.
This sounds like such a great experience. I'm so glad you're being thoroughly entertained by this game, Brian.
Well, I think I'm the one that's being entertained, actually.
I'm very much being entertained right now, but it sounds like Brian is being entertained by the game.
So then I die again. I die again in the Dark Souls Hilton. Yeah. So I spawn at the bottom of the thing again. And I go back upstairs. And once again, like as I get to the top of the staircase, he's already run up the fucking hill.
Right.
Right. And so then I'm like, fuck this. And I just go back to the bottom of the stairs and I think for a while.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I walk back up, he's just standing at the door. He's just fucking standing at the door.
Just menacingly. God damn it.
And I'm like, fuck this. And so then I walk back down again. And I set a timer on my phone.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm going to sit here for a full 10 minutes real world.
Okay.
And I do. And so then I go back up all slow and crouchy. And he has in fact gone back to his normal starting position.
Okay.
But then I guess he looks up. Like it's charging up the fucking...
senses you.
Yeah.
Senses your presence.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh God. So I charge out the door, and I guess he doesn't expect me to run past. I'm like, fuck me, fuck you, fuck this. And I'm just like running away. And so then I run down the hill, and I could hear him swinging his thing behind me. And like, then I get a fucking swarm of the black and red bees up my ass from behind. And I'm like, I'm gonna die. And then I come into this clearing, which I then hear an enormous noise, right? And I'm like, what is this? And this thing that I can only describe, oh God, what is it? I'm trying to find the right word for what to call this thing.
Okay.
I guess it'd be like, what if the Lionels in Legend of Zelda had that drip?
Oh, you found the tree sentinel. He's like a big man on a golden like steed with like a halberd.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would say he found me.
Yeah. No.
This very much sounds like a journey of a man being hunted.
I just killed him last night, Brian, and I'm at level 31. Like, I went back to go kill him, and it was still kind of a pain in the ass.
So, I mean, like, at this point, I am a 5-second brisk jog from the door of the Dark Souls Hilton. That is it. And this, like, massive drip Lionel just, like, swings his fucking halberd at me just the once, and I got the thing on the screen that says "bodied, son," and
he's got the damage. Yeah, you can't fuck with that guy.
And like, how you get like that, like fucking, I want to say it's like a half a second as the "you died" comes on while animation is still happening.
Yeah.
At which point, the fucker with the black and red bees just charges into frame as if it's just like, if Drip Lionel didn't get you, then this guy would have. And I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, you can't walk through the center. Like, it's very much like, that's a dude. You want to stay away from him for a very long time.
So then, the next part of my Elden Ring journey was this. I thought I was respawning, at which point it throws up this error message that says, your frame rate is inadequate for online play.
Oh,
returning you to title screen.
That's wild. I haven't gotten that one.
And I said, what? And then it proceeded to not take me to title screen. It proceeded to just throw up that error message again saying, your frame rate is inadequate for online play. And I'm like, what are you talking about? My frame rate is inadequate for online play. My frame rate is, I'm getting 60 frames. Like, I'm getting 60 fucking frames. And they're just like, your frame rate is inadequate for online play. And so then I hard restart the game. And, I load up my file. And sure enough, my friend, the guy who's ready to charge up the hill, is waiting for me. And as he's charging toward me to bring me death, the game kicks me out to a message that says, your frame rate is inadequate for offline play.
That's kind of nuts.
And so then I hop online, and I discover that Bandai Namco has issued a statement saying that some players, but not all, are experiencing a phenomenon where they may be receiving a message that says that their frame rate is inadequate while they are achieving required frame rate thresholds. And that they are aware of this phenomenon and that it will be addressed in a future patch. And that our patience is appreciated.
Yeah, I saw that message too. I know that they did like a patch like really late on Saturday. And it's improved some things. Definitely for sure. Because I had Hennessy has like a 3080 and he couldn't like run the game in the open world. Like it would crash. But he was playing last night. He seems to be better off.
So anyway, that's my Elden Ring experience. Getting the shit kicked out of me repeatedly and now having issues just running the game.
Yeah, I looked up Vare, actually. Well, maybe try it again. Like, because I think that was you playing on Friday, right?
Some on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Like, because I know the patch went up, like, Saturday night. Like, I got kicked off of online, like, at 2 a.m. my time.
Okay, all right.
Because they were patching.
Yeah, I've not tried since then, so it sounds like all of my experience is pre-patch.
But, yeah, Vare, I just looked him up. The guy that was killing you. Apparently his drops are just, like, bloody fingers, which are, like, used to, like, invade other people. So, that's probably not even, like, worth the fight. I was hoping he'd drop a spell or something. What's it called? I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I got, I think 20 hours in at this point. I have beaten one major boss and gathered one of the great runes and, reactivated it or whatever the fuck. But I've mostly been dicking around in these, shrines and shit. And that's been cool. I really like that the game is like wide and expansive in the way that I think open world should be, but isn't like really filled with like busy work or like forcing you to do stuff explicitly. There are side quests for sure. Like there are people that like give you weird pensive bits of dialogue, and there are definitely like things that are meant for you to interact with, but like it doesn't feel like checklisty. Like I've seen like a lot of talk around like quest log not being in the game, or like a journal that's like kept in the game, and even like people like Schreier suggesting that you keep your own journal for like the sake of like keeping track of certain things. And it's like, why isn't the game doing this for me? And while I do agree that there is something to be said about developers, say, like potentially cutting corners to make players to do things that should be quality of life enhancements, I do like the idea of like discreetly interacting with the world in a way that doesn't feel like I'm on rails to like some inevitable conclusion, and instead just like experience it as like continuous moments of discovery. I think that's really cool. There may be a better way to like implement it, and I hope someone figures it out in the future, but I like the way that this is implemented here. I am currently building a character that's focused on like dex and like a little bit of magic. I think I'll end up scaling more into magic later. But I do like the magic that I found so far. Like just fucking around, I killed a giant flower, and I fought a mini boss in some weird like dungeon. Or not dungeon, but more like a basement. Like it's just one room. And then behind it, there appears to be just some exiled sorceress who just like talks shit and like offers to teach me magic, but only if I behave and don't accept compliments or whatever. Or don't request compliments or whatever. I do prefer her to like, you know, the other sorcerer teacher that I found elsewhere, who is a fledgling student who just got locked out of the school after they decided that the world is going to end and we don't want to be a part of it anymore. I think the game is neat. I think there's a lot of really wild shit, like the fucking cutscene at the, like, halfway through the Godric fight, where, like, he cuts off his own arm and then sticks it into a dragon corpse to turn it into, like, a dragon head, is going to haunt me for years. And the game doesn't really explain what's happening, they just put it on screen, which is its own special kind of pleasure, I think. I think the game is definitely strange to move through, especially whenever people are getting used to it. But I think the rewards are there. I think the game rewards your time for figuring out how to deal with any discrete situation. And I do think that there are usually enough things to do when you don't know what to deal with what's in front of you to find out something else to do. Like, Brian, I'm sorry that Elden Ring has decided to kick your shit in. That fucking sucks. And if there's anything I can do to help you with it, if I can share any knowledge or grant you any particular experience, I'd like to do that for you. Because I do think this is a very good video game with a significant amount of problems that I deeply hope get fixed in the future, but have the potential to be a very important game that induces conversations that we'll be talking about for years to come.
I honestly think that what I would have just done, which also sounds frustrating, but it's, at this point felt like the only option, was I think that what I would have done, had I not run into the technical difficulties that I had, would have been just to start a brand new file, so that way that one guy doesn't want to kill me so hard, and just, you know, found a direction to go in where the drip Lionel wasn't.
That may be the simplest thing, but there are other options.
That's
if you're open to them.
So I messaged Alex about his experience so far. He's been playing nonstop since the game finished like the patches and stuff. He's currently level 37. He's done a ton of side stuff. Okay. And I asked him, did you do the tutorial or skip it at the very beginning? And he said, of course I did it. So, I don't know. He, like, the way he said that, the way he texted me that is like, what do you think, I'm a fool for not, like, you think I'm that confident that I would not skip the tutorial? And it's like, no, I'm just trying to gather knowledge, that's all. Because I was playing Horizon while he was doing that.
All right.
Oh, God.
But he's having fun. When I left him today, he was fighting that dragon that,
The one like in the first lake or whatever?
The one that Moy was fighting when we raided him the other day.
Ah, okay.
He's fighting that. He's fought like a rat king man. And I was like, "Oh, you're fighting Bruno." Haha. And Alex did not think that was very funny. But also he was getting his shit rocked, and then he was like, "I beat him. It only took me 2 additional tries, but I did it." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, there are definitely some bosses that like have definitely been fucking with me. There was one. There's this like Anubis cat looking thing that that just like it's like the jankiest looking thing that I've ever seen in my life. It has like a thing where it just literally like starts to float and then does like the Link down air on you with like a shockwave.
Alright, sure.
Yeah, and like there's that, and then like it does like really like kind of like twitchy like spin attacks and whatnot. Like they all have tells. Like now I know that, but like looking at it, like at the start, it was like really like frustrating. It's just like, what the fuck are you going to do? Or like sometimes it'll just stand up like on its hind legs and walk over to you and do like one overhead slash. And it's just like, what is this thing? And there's definitely one boss that I absolutely fought too early that I only beat because I refused to leave, and it got stuck in a glitch on one of the runs I was fighting it on. Like, it got stuck in the wall, and it couldn't move, and so I just kept hitting it. And then literally the last hit, it has an ability that, like, basically explodes around itself. And so you should be out of the range of the attack, but because he was stuck in the wall, I didn't want to waste any of it. And I literally traded my last hit as it exploded, and it killed me, but it died.
Oh, okay.
So I walked back in and just, like, gathered my runes and, like, left. And I have this really cool ability I can't use because I don't have enough FP or whatever.
Yeah, Alex says he has just gotten back to me. He says, I've killed 2 story bosses, but 6 world bosses.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
So, he's having a lot of fun. I left yesterday to do stuff with my family, and I came back like 6 or 8 hours later, and he had not moved.
Well, I mean, there's so much to do. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there seems like it's a ton.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks good. This is a game that I foresee seeing many hours of. I can't wait for Alex to eventually have New Game Plus 9 done on this one as well.
God, no, like, okay, but, like, this game is just, like, absolutely huge. And I think, like, one of the new innovations of the FromSoft game here is that they gave you a map from the beginning. And, like, the trade-off is that, like, this world is so much bigger than, like, any of the other worlds that like, Dark Souls has made. Like, it's not an exaggeration to say that this feels like 2 or 3 Dark Souls games in one. And I don't know how, like, the main quest is, like, because, you know, I don't know the scope of it. I haven't dug into it. And it definitely feels a lot more streamlined. Like, you could definitely just run through and do the main quest. But there's just so much other stuff to experience and, like, fuck around with that, like, I am not compelled, I guess. Or like, you know, it doesn't feel the main quest doesn't feel urgent. Like, it's still gonna be there. I'm going to do other stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense to me. It looks good. It looks very nice. My only major observation from, like, the little bit that I have seen, because I've been doing my own stuff, is that this is the most colorful game that FromSoft has released in, like, the Souls-like group.
There's a surprising amount of pastels in it, actually.
There's a surprising amount of any color in it, honestly, other than, like, the, like, things that you pick up, the, like, item location stuff. It's a lot of, like, grays, blacks, muted colors, usually.
Yeah.
And this time, like, the first thing, there's bright yellow leaves and big pale blue flowers and the Venusaur thing, you know? With the pink flower tufts on it.
Oh, man. Ooh, Brian, if and when you get further into the game, you're going to meet, or there's someone that you're going to want to meet. She's a witch named Rena. And she gives you the ability to, like, summon spirits to fight with you that are ultimately upgradable. And there are a lot. Most of the ones that we've seen outside of the initial couple that you can get /buy are won from bosses, but they're basically just like summonable creatures that fight alongside you, if not directly against enemies. And certain combinations of like character NPCs and like summonable creatures like trivialize certain boss fights. Like, it's kind of crazy. So, and I know that you've talked about like that kind of gameplay with your experience in Skyrim, so
Right.
I wanted it to be on your radar.
Well, I'll probably, now that I hear that there's been some patches, hoping that they'll impact my experience, so that way I can go in and make a new file and not fight that man at the bottom of the hill.
I was a little surprised to see that you purchased the game right at the beginning, honestly. I thought you would have waited a month or so, just so you had, like, the Steam Deck, like, fully, like, I don't want to say, like, customizable, but, like, had, like, a solid feel for how other stuff plays on it before you jumped into Elden Ring.
Wait. Steam Deck?
Yeah. You can play it on the Steam Deck.
No, I'm just, like, so, like...
I would have thought you'd wanted the Steam Deck and then played it on the Steam Deck so that you could play it in a, like, comfortable, adjusted position.
But I'm
He's playing
You know?
it on the GPD Win Max.
Yeah, I'm playing on the Win Max.
Yeah, no, I heard you were playing it on the Win Max. I would have thought you wanted to play it on the Steam Deck, though.
I ain't getting that Steam Deck, like, until sometime after quarter 2.
Oh, I thought you were getting it. I thought you were in the first round. My bad.
No.
My bad.
No.
Never mind. I'm stupid
No.
then. I assumed it was arriving, over this weekend.
No.
And I'm like, there are gonna be bugs in that, in addition to bugs in the other thing. Like, I'm surprised Brian picked it up so fast.
Like, it's funny, though, that you mentioned that, Tegan.
Yeah.
Because...
We gonna talk about Knife Man now?
Well, I mean, we'll kind of like... Well, I guess we might come and go with Knife Man.
Okay, that's fair.
So, all the media outlets got their Steam Decks for review, like, a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really fascinating to, like, now that, like, media outlets have had Steam Decks, like, in their possession, and it's no longer, like, fly to Seattle to go touch a Steam Deck. It's, like, now they have the Steam Decks, like, and they've had the Steam Decks for a couple weeks. Like, what does the coverage of that look like? And Sam Mochkovic of Ars Technica did a Twitter space about the Steam Deck on Friday, and I sat in on the space, and it was like really, it was fascinating to hear him talk about like what the moment to moment day to day experience of like owning a Steam Deck is like, because it really sounds like there is going to be like a shift in like what this like they're market, like I think some people are expecting it to be like owning a console, instead of owning a handheld PC. And he talked about how like in the course of like a 7-day period, updates would get pushed to the deck at least once a day, sometimes multiple times a day, and that like the way that the like Steam desktop looked at the end of a 7-day period was not the way it looked at the beginning of that 7-day period, and that when updates get pushed to like the desktop for like a PlayStation or an Xbox, that those updates are a lot like less frequent, and that it's like obvious that like Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo or whatever is like playing this like very slow cold chess for like how often they push updates. Meanwhile, here's Valve just being like, fuck it, let it rip, and just like updates are like all the time. One of the things that they talked about was that the way Valve had been managing Proton, which is the compatibility layer for Linux that like runs the games, that they had been targeting essentially like using pre-order data to target games for like Steam Deck compatibility priority, like making sure that like people would not run into problems on Steam Deck with certain games. And so, like, one of the games that people are talking about running the absolute best on Steam Deck is Elden Ring, because basically Valve looks at sales data for, like, priority on, like, where to throw engineering support to make sure that, like, this game won't have any problems on deck.
Right.
And, like, they sent FromSoft a bunch of Steam Decks. They devoted engineering resources to it. And so, like, people who have Steam Decks in hand say that, like, Elden Ring runs like an absolute dream on deck. Which I find very interesting. Now, like, in contrast, and this is funny, Doom 64, originally released on the Nintendo 64, runs like shit on deck.
Oh.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. Like, to the point where, like, it crashes, it stutters down to, like, 10 frames a second. But what was funny is, like, once some journalist started talking online about how Doom 64 ran badly on deck, like, Valve was like, get a bunch of people on fixing Doom 64 on deck. So that way it'll run better.
Like, the whole meme is, can it run Doom, though?
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing. Why would you not also make sure it can run Doom fine?
I don't think, like, that's a hardware issue, like, specifically. Like, it's more of, like, an optimization thing. And so, like, if they don't have someone at Valve sitting there playing Doom 64 and making sure that, like, the deck knows where to, like, run the memory and whatnot, like, it'll fuck up.
Yeah, I mean,
like, when it's not that people, like, it's not that Doom just automatically runs on everything. It's that someone has to get Doom running on the thing.
It's important to, like, stress here that, like, the Steam Deck is a Linux computer. It is not running Windows. It is not a Windows computer. And so, like, it is running. It's running all of this Windows software with this thing called Proton. And so there's, like, the Proton compatibility layer, and it's like, how well is Proton handling these individual pieces of Windows software? And, like, it's also worth noting that, like, every other Doom game runs absolutely fine on deck. Like, you know, like the two most recent, like, Doom games, like Doom and, like, what was it called? The other one, like, Doom Up Your Ass or something? Like, the ones that were done by id that came out on, like, the Xbox One and the PS4, those run great. You know, like, Doom.
It's just Doom 64 that was having issues.
Yes. Civilization 6, apparently, like, total disaster. And so, like, it's one of those things where, like, most stuff runs, but, like, some stuff just doesn't run right. Like, it's been interesting, like, reading about people talking about the experience of, like, holding a Steam Deck and, like, playing on a Steam Deck. Like, I'm like a GPD Win 3 is, like, what I would call, like a smidge heavier than a Switch. Like, it feels a little bit heavier than a Switch, but not like egregiously so. You know what I mean? A Win Max a little bit more than that, because, like, the Win Max is designed to, like, have the clamshell form factor, so that way it can have, like, a fully functioning keyboard on it. But the way that people are describing holding a Steam Deck is that they're saying that, like, holding a Steam Deck feels like the difference between training with regular boxing gloves and training with weighted boxing gloves. That, like, the Steam Deck feels a lot heavier, like considerably heavier than other handheld gaming devices. And, like, it's interesting, like, hearing about, like, just, like, the little tiny things about the ergonomics of the device. like one thing I did not expect is that like the feedback on the joysticks for the device are like universally that the joysticks are good. Like these are very good joysticks. Like the joysticks and the triggers feel super good on the device. I'm like, ooh, that's very interesting to me. That they're full size joysticks. Like a lot of times with handheld gaming devices, developers will seek like lower profile joysticks. Like even Nintendo does it on the Switch, where like the profile of the joystick is like a lot lower, and so it doesn't feel like your thumb is using a full range of motion because of how much lower profile the joystick is. Like it feels better to like say have a PlayStation or Xbox joystick beneath your thumb than a Switch one does, because like you're kind of like having to like gingerly deal with the thing because of how low it is.
That is going to be something that's subjective, because I prefer the Switch controller over the PlayStation controller.
Nice.
Good cat, good cat. Anyway, I like low profile button, hand small, works better. That's it. That's the point. The PlayStation controller, so the PS5 controller is like a little, it's very marginally like, I think, than the PS4 controller. And so the thumbsticks are just a little bit higher, and they're bordering like uncomfortable for long periods in my hand. And I've noticed that after doing my 2 very, full workday streams. So
I feel like I should cut back on those. Actually.
The workday streams? No!
No, not you, me.
No, also not you. No.
Oh, fuck.
It's fine.
Okay. Alright.
If you like it, you like it. It's fun. If it's fun, it's fun. Who cares?
I don't know, what were we talking about?
Low profile versus high profile joysticks on handheld consoles.
Oh.
Yes.
We were the Steam Deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it seems like they're shipping these things faster than they thought. But like it also seems like whatever the initial allotment is smaller than they thought. Because I know that like after the Switch got flipped to let people like start paying for that like first batch, there are people who had reservations for the first batch that when they paid, they thought they were in the first batch, but like they paid something like 2-3 minutes after they were allowed to start paying. Mm-hmm. And it now shows their delivery date as Q2.
Gross.
Yeah, so
that seems shitty.
So it seems like whatever the initial allotment is smaller than they thought. So that February, that the February shipment is not as big as like what they anticipated, and so like people who paid thinking that it means that their Steam Deck was going to like ship next week. Some of them are going to get a Steam Deck. They're going to ship next week. Some are going to get a Steam Deck sometime in April.
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely keeping up with it. Like, it's really interesting. I definitely recommend that anybody who wants to like follow Steam Deck coverage, I still say that like one of the best places to get that is the Fox. He's a guy who's been covering handheld PCs since 2016. He's been covering them since like the GPD Win 1. And he's had some really like interesting stuff to say about like the deck, and he's been putting it through its paces. He just did a test of PS3 emulation on the deck, and it handles PS3 emulation very well. So there may very well be now a convenient way to play Lollipop Chainsaw in the year of our Lord 2022. So
yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. The licensing rights on that soundtrack mean that I might never get to... Oh, God damn it. Insert Lollipop Chainsaw speech here.
Alright. Just, Tegan, let's get into Forbidden West.
Okay. Let me tell you what is going on in Forbidden West. Bullshit. Bullshit's what's going on in Forbidden West. Okay? Apparently. Okay. So, I'm 27 hours in, I think.
For sure.
Let me check, because somebody had asked me a little bit ago, like a day ago or so, the last time I streamed, I think. Yeah, I'm like 27 hours in. And let me tell you what. So the story of the first game was bullshit, right? I got mad at it partway through, quit playing the whole thing, okay? It's bullshit again, but it's different bullshit. So it turns out in the first game, spoiler alert for people who are listening, in the first game you hear about this project from a competing company, and the company is called Far Zenith, and they're building a spaceship that they're calling the Odyssey, and they're going to send it into the Sirius star system, and like, after a while, humans are going to come back, or whatever. Or try to find a planet that they can populate or something. Like, basically giving up on Earth, but, like, keeping ourselves alive or whatever.
Sure.
Like, that's the goal. And in Horizon Zero Dawn, there are reports where, like, the spaceship goes up, and then the spaceship explodes. Right? It fails completely, and, like, everything is essentially screwed at that point, right? And so the only hope is the Zero Dawn project. Turns out, no, that's not what happened. The spaceship, the people on the Odyssey somehow made it seem like the spaceship blew up, but the spaceship did not blow up. Mm-hmm. And the people who are living on the Odyssey in the Sirius star system are the ones that sent the kill signal to the Gaia system on Earth that set off the whole thing in the first game.
That is some bullshit.
Like, the whole fucking thing that made the Hades system self-aware and break away from the Gaia project. Like, all that part is because some dude on a spaceship 8 light years away from us was like, that's enough time, right? Earth's viable again, so we can just kill everything on it with this thing and then come down and reclaim it for ourselves or something, right?
Would they still be considered aliens, or are they just, like, returning refugees?
They would have been born on the spaceship.
That's true.
So I think they are technically aliens, because they have Earth genetic material, but they aren't from Earth. They wouldn't have grown up in, like, Earth's atmosphere and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But that's, like, the basis, maybe, of what happened. That's what Gaia thinks. Gaia's back, by the way. I found a raw, like, just the core function. There's no, like, associated, none of the, like, sub-processors are attached anymore. I have to do that myself. And when I say do that, I mean I have to find them and basically put them in a little Pokeball fucking memory stick and then put them back in the Gaia system. That's what my job is in this game. And let me tell you what. They have a clone of Elizabeth Sobek also, so they can get into all these genetically locked cauldrons, just like me. So, like, and she obviously has no idea what's going on, and these aliens from the other star system have, like, way better machines than we have here on Earth, and also, they have these really cool, like, crystalline, iridescent force field shields that I, with my little bow and arrow, can't do shit about. So, like, they literally try to kill me immediately, because I'm trying to, like, save the planet or whatever, and they're like, no, we want it dead, actually. so that we can take it over later. Maybe that's the working theory. That may not be what they actually want, but that's what we think they want.
Okay.
And they're just like, wait, you gotta hit me with a bow and arrow? Try me. And I'm like, okay, I will. And I do. And they don't take any damage. And they don't even, like, whack it away. It's just, like, the arrows, like, disintegrate on impact. And meanwhile, he's jumping around and using, like, spike in the ground that sends up crystalline, like, spears across and, like, fireballs, like some kind of fucking what's it, Mega Man, like, villain out of, like, an arm cannon thing? I don't know. It was stressful. And so now, in addition to all of that, I have to find 3 core functions that are within walking distance, essentially, of Gaia right now. The Aether system, which will help fix the atmosphere, the Poseidon system, which will help fix the water, and the Demeter system, which will help fix all the, like, terraforming. And then there's 3 additional functions that we don't know where they are. The Hades function, which we destroyed, and the Hephaestus function, which is hiding in the cloud, wherever that is. The Hephaestus function is the part that's responsible for building all of the machines. And so, like, it has also been upgrading itself. And so it's much larger than all of the other core functions right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Gaia physically does not have enough, like, processing power right now to like, force Hephaestus to do its job again, the way it's supposed to. So, like, yeah. Huh? Go ahead.
Alright. So, is that like a stretch goal or something? Like, are you ever going to be able to do anything about Hephaestus?
So, Gaia thinks that if I can reclaim Aether, Demeter, and Poseidon, and put them back inside her, that she'll be able to re-get Hephaestus to cooperate.
Right.
Without Hephaestus, though, she can't build machines to actually fix the terraforming system, the actual terraforming system. And so getting the other functions will only delay the inevitable, like, mess up of the Earth. And this time there is no Hades function to, like, do a complete wipe because I killed it. And I killed it after Silence, that dick from the first game, had interrogated it to the point where none of its memory processes worked anymore. Which is fun. And how did Silence interrogate it? He showed it videos of bunnies hopping around. God damn it.
I mean, that would drive anyone insane.
Okay, so because the things that it was showing is, like, life thriving, and, like, that's what was torturing the Hades function.
Oh.
Not anything else, just like, these bunnies are hanging out in a field, look at them eat the little grass and have a good little bunny time. It wasn't because they were bunnies, it was because it was, like, life thriving. Stupid. Dumb. So dumb. Perfect. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's hilarious that that's the thing that, like, ultimately brought Hades down, but, like, yeah, it's stupid. Anyway, so now, like, the second, like, chunk of the map has opened up to me, essentially, and the game wants me to go further west. But instead, I decided to backtrack and visit some of the things that were previously locked to me in, like, the beginning area. Because I didn't have, like, the right tools to access them or whatever. Mostly, like, Firegleam caves. Firegleam's this, like, red crystal, and I can basically, like, run an electric current through it, with a tool on my spear, and like, cause it to explode. So I can, like, get out and, like, get some stuff. And it's mostly just, like, item caches and that sort of thing. There's anything, like, real big behind them, but it's, like, good to know, you know? The thing I've discovered now is that, like, I really need to be able to swim, and so I looked up how to get... I know there's a breathing apparatus in the game because of the the trailers that they were showing us, so I looked up how to do it, and it's like the first thing that you get in the like Poseidon quest line, and apparently you don't need to be like, they're recommending level 22 or so to start the Poseidon quest line, but you don't have to be that level to do the first section, so I might just do the first section of that. And then come back and explore like the other areas so that I'm not constantly worried about drowning, because it's real annoying.
Do you ever get to fight underwater?
There are robots underwater, so I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I just can't yet because I can't spend that much time underwater.
Okay.
The wide maws are still my least favorite enemy to fight. And I say that in that, like, they're the ones that are still the most, like, the biggest pain in the butt. And that's knowing full well that there's a Thunderjaw just wandering around the like regular area, which is great. Like, they're a pain, but they're more like an energy or like a resource sponge than anything else. The wide maws aren't. They have like weak points that are in their mouth. They have like tusks in their mouth that I need to be able to shred, and I don't have a good enough weapon to like target in there when their mouth is open for the limited amount of time that it's open while they're doing like certain attacks to like get them out to do the upgrades that I want to do. And they're destroyed, of course. When the machine is destroyed, they also like they break on machine like end or whatever. So I need to shred them while the wide maw is still like functioning. So I need a better bow again. I have so many bows. I have too many weapons already. If that makes any sense. I've got like 14 weapons. And only 3 of them are like the blue grade, which is like 1 grade up from like your base level stuff. And then like I want the purple rank weapons. I want the tier 3 weapons so that I can have like the best of the best and the high, so I can start like doing more stuff, but I haven't found a merchant with them yet. So
wait a second, I just realized. Doesn't Horizon Zero Dawn use like the Fortnite rarity system for their weapons?
I guess, I don't know. What's the Fortnite rarity system?
I don't think like Fortnite's like the first one to do it, but it's like commons are like gray, and then like uncommons are green, blues are rare, and then like very rare is like purple, and then like legendary or like whatever the top rank is like orange or something. Yeah,
it's the same color coding system that they use in WoW.
Okay.
I think they don't. Yeah, it's the same color coding system they use in WoW. But like the weapons themselves aren't like drops from enemies or anything, so I don't have to worry about that. I just have to find the right merchant that has it for sale.
Okay.
So that makes it easier as far as like that stuff goes. But I also need like some merchants, usually for those things, they want specific machine parts. And you can get those machine parts from fighting the machines in that area because they're more likely to drop the thing that you need to trade.
For sure.
So it's not going to be impossible, but like right now it's annoying, Hopefully I'll find like a nice purple like sniper bow on my way to the Poseidon quest. But I was sitting there going like, wait a minute, you're telling me that the villains in this game, instead of being the Hades processor, are the Hephaestus one, and also aliens that were from Earth? And the computer system's like, yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, great.
Wait, yeah, okay, yeah, Tales of Arise did the same thing. Like, these aren't aliens, they're from Earth or whatever. They're just oppressing Earth now.
Yeah, exactly. But they're not anyway, so that'll be fun. But also, the other big thing I have is now I have a base. And when I say I have a base, I mean I have a Zero Dawn bunker that was not used because Ted Farrow's a dick. So, because this bunker was never open until I showed up with my my special genetic code, there's no, like, data points in it, because there was no one there to use it, but also, like, everything is, like, sitting there waiting for people to come to try and survive the apocalypse, and these people never showed up. Man, so that's fun. Yeah, fuck Ted Faro. Gotta hate him. But on the plus side, I do get to see what a functioning base would have been like. So I'm very excited about that. I'm giving, like, some of my, like, friends from the first game. Varl is gonna be there, my Ostrom friend, and this new girl who I met named Zoe. I've given Varl and Zoe, foci, so they can see and interact with all of the tech, and Gaia's gonna be able to explain everything to them. And also now, they have a walkie-talkie function, so that, they can talk to me while I'm exploring further west. Which is exciting. I have so many focuses, apparently. I have so many foci. I'm excited to see people move into the space and actually, like, start using it. I think it'll be really fun. I hope I get to, like, implement upgrades and stuff to it a little bit, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, there are all these, like, empty planters and stuff in it, and because it's specifically, like, the base was originally used for, like, farming and like, a major part of the terraforming system. So, like, I hope all of those planters get filled with, like, the weird flora from around and stuff. I'd love to see it, like, grow and thrive and see how we, like, readapt some of the, like, high tech.
I hope
the
game
stuff.
gets its own, like, Okami moment. I understand,
yeah,
like, we're away from that kind of, like, magical experience, but something like that could be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. But that's where I'm at. I'm gonna do a little bit more, like, side backtracking, if that makes sense. Like, nothing that's, like, quest related, just, like, supply gathering and, like, that sort of thing before my next stream, just so I have the materials to do the things that I want to do. But yeah. Also, when I do the backtracking now, there are all of these machines that, like, in the first game, when machines were being taken over by Hades, they had corruption on them, and they were, like, they had, like, these red, like, thick, like, wire tubes sort of thing that came around them. Mm-hmm. Now, when I backtrack, they have purple ones, because Hephaestus is making better versions of the same machines based on my data.
Oh. Sick, I guess.
It's fucky. They're, like, if you're in, with the regular, the, like, base machines, if you're hiding in the grass and a machine walks right up to you, it could be staring you right in the face and it will not see you. But with the new machines, they're called, like, alpha machines, if they walk up to you in the grass, like, to the point where you would basically be nose to nose, they will see you. They won't see you from outside the grass, but if they walk in and they, like, physically run into you, they'll recognize that you're there.
Oh. Okay, fuck.
Yeah. Don't like it. It's great, but it's terrible. But it's great, but it's terrible.
It's cool that the game is adapting to you and stuff, but, like, please.
I don't think it's necessarily adapting to, like, just how I play. I think it's just, like, they've made it so that hiding in the grass doesn't always mean that no one can see you anymore.
Yeah.
Which is new and also good and also bad.
Alright.
But yeah, other than that, that's all I've been playing. That's it. Just Horizon.
It's a big game.
It's a good game. I'm having fun.
Okay. So, today's Pokemon Day?
Today is Pokemon Day. Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Pokemon! On this day, on recording day, in the before time, in the beginning, Pokemon Red and Green were released in Japan, and then they were followed by Red and Blue in the US. And so Pokemon did a special, like, Pokemon Presents, which is like a Pokemon Direct, but it's not anymore. They're called Pokemon Presents now. And in it, they announced some cool stuff for a couple of the games. They announced some new stuff for Pokemon Unite, and they announced some stuff for the like mobile game thing, Pokemon Challengers, I think. Okay. They said that Alolan Pokemon are coming to Pokemon Go as of March 1st. Which is in 2 days as of recording, so it'll be out. They'll be out by the time the recording comes out. And then they said that Legends Arceus is going to get a free update where it's not going to include new regions or anything as far as that goes. No new Pokemon specifically, but there are going to be alpha Pokemon swarms now. And some other like little quest story stuff for you to explore.
Okay, but like not main quests, just like do side quests?
Right, exactly. Like post-game content sort of thing.
Okay.
But it's available now, and like they also sent out a code so that you can like get some free Pokeballs in your game sort of thing. Which like isn't as big a deal, I feel like, in a game where you can craft your own Pokeballs at any time, you know? Mm-hmm. But still nice. It's still a good gesture. And the DLC is free, which I think is also important. And then they were just like, oh, and by the way, we're doing Gen 9. Here you go. I still don't know how to feel about it, man. From what we've seen in the trailer, and like, we're still very, like, the trailer dropped 4 hours ago, at time of recording. The big appeal is they released the new starters. You've got Sprigatito, it looks like.
Sprigatito.
Yeah, who's a grass cat. Fuecoco, who is a fire crocodile. And Quaxley, which is a water duck. And they're all good. They're all good. They're all very good. I appreciate all of them. I love them all so much. The region itself looks like it's going to be like Spain or Portugal.
It looks like the Spanish countryside.
Mostly, yeah.
How did we get Spain from that?
I don't know, like the architecture of like the like countryside house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know about the city square. I don't know if I put that specifically in Spain, but it does seem like something in the region.
Yeah. And also, like, the naming conventions for the cat and the croc have specifically, like, Spanish influence in them. Which usually, like, that kind of stuff is indicative of, like, the region that they're coming from.
You have other thoughts on it, Brian?
No, that was not a loaded, how are you getting Spain out of that? That was, how are you getting Spain out of that?
Oh, yeah, no, it's just, like, it's, like, the coastline and, like, the general architecture of the city center and, the big, like, plaza with the very colorful, like, stonework in it, that kind of stuff.
Mm.
And I'm also seeing, the other, like, point that I've seen online, other than the fact that, like, the people look rough. The people look rough. Is that, the new games are Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, and someone is like, oh, so they're using, like, infrared and ultraviolet. Like, this is going to be a color spectrum-based game. And I'm like, that's an interesting thought.
Maybe there's something to, like, the logos, too, because, like, Scarlet doesn't... Like, Scarlet uses, like, gradients that are kind of, like, flat patterns, while, like, Violet uses, like, these little, like, white dots in between them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, like, the little stripes.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's speculation. I don't know too much about it. I think it's weird that, that this is so close to Arceus, but I remember, again, that Arceus wasn't a mainline game.
Mm-hmm.
But Gen 9, like, Holiday 2022, seems... really aggressive.
It seems close. It seems super close. I'm a little concerned. It looks like the overworld stuff and, like, the asset stuff that they're using for, the, like, trees, grass, ground, that sort of stuff, and, like, Pokemon interactions, like, walking around sort of stuff. That all seems like it's ripped directly from Arceus. Like, it's the same, like, coding that they're using. Same assets.
Yeah, as if they, like, you know, like, Arceus was, like, the prototyped idea. And, like, this is
right.
Like, what they're selling.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, some of the Pokemon have really, really, really detailed, renderings. Like, on the Seviper that you see in the trailer, you can see, like, when you pause on it, you can see the scale pattern in it. In the Magnemite, you can see the reflection in the metal. Like, that's all really good, but then, like, the people and the city center are just rough. Right now. So, I'm hoping it's just like I'm hoping it's just like a very early trailer sort of problem and not indicative of how it's going to end up overall. Because the art, the drawing art that they released for the trainer character is very much more in the, like, traditional Pokemon style and not quite what it looks like in the trailer itself.
Yeah, it could be an early trailer, but I guess at that point we would have to accept that this is non-information when they show us that stuff. But I could see this being like a pivot from, like, what they did in Sword and Shield, where they really prioritized, like, character interactions and, like, really character design in, like, Sword and Shield specifically, as opposed to, like, unique, like, Pokemon animations and, like, interactions. Like, I mean, it caught up, ultimately, but, like, that was something that got them a lot of flack early on. And maybe, like, people won't care as much about, like, rough character renderings if, like, all the Pokemon look good. That could make sense.
Right. I mean, the Pokemon are supposed to be, like, the focus of the story, more or less, you know? And the Pokemon do look very good, but also the Pokemon that we've seen so far in the trailer, other than the new starters, are Pokemon that appear in Arceus.
Oh.
So, like, it seems like those ones at least are just fully, like, easy transfer over, you know? Without too much, like, additional stress on the designers, but, like, this feels real short, and I know it's not a mainline, or, like, Arceus wasn't a mainline game, but, like,
It's also been a while. Like, Sword and Shield, did it come out 2019? Or was it 2018?
I think 2018.
Because, like, Pokemon Company has definitely been releasing stuff. That's absolutely true. Like, we have Arceus, we have a Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and actually there may have been something else in between, but it has been about 4 years since, like, the main line, even if there's, like, a constant, like, stream of stuff. And I don't know anything about how internal development works, but I do know that the Pokemon Company is, like, a multi-billion-dollar company at this point, and they're not using all of their energy on Pokemon Go.
Sword and Shield came out in 2019. They didn't release anything in 2020, and then we got Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in 2021, and then early 2022, Legends Arceus, and now Scarlet and Violet.
Right. So, I mean, it does seem like there has been a stream of Pokemon releases, and even, like, ones that have been part of, like, the public conversation. But it has been a while since Gen 8. Like, a little bit. I definitely would say that.
I mean, if you're gonna do a new gen, like, now is the time, but, like, normally now would be the time, I guess, but I don't know.
No one's gonna fight you if you delay to 2023, Pokemon Company. That's all we're saying.
We're not gonna fight you, but the trading card scene might.
Oh man, that's where the money comes from, so.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, plush sales and stuff, like, that's still a big thing.
I still gotta get that Arcanine, god damn it. We'll figure that out later.
You'll figure it out later. But yeah, the renderings for the actual characters are something. The sketch designs are good, though. I like them. I think they're cute. I think the little pants are fun.
Wait. Oh, like the new characters?
Yeah, the new player characters.
I
Here,
think
send
something
them in
that
the thing.
fucked me up. Yeah, okay. Ooh, I like the gradients on those shorts.
Yeah, the gradients on the shorts are good for Scarlet. Not the Violet art is not as good.
But I saw what's it called? I saw a tweet where someone posted the Scarlet character designs, and they're just like, I don't live in Spain. Do people really dress like this? And like the first reply is like, okay, so I don't live in Spain, but I went to go visit a few years back, and it was like wall to wall, everyone dressed like this.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Spain, but that sounds a little wild.
Okay,
I also.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are the exact same pictures, just palette swapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's right.
So when we say things like the violet art isn't as good as the scarlet art,
I mean the outfit entirely, not the art itself.
Okay, all right.
The fits are better in Scarlet than they are in Violet.
What do you mean the fits are better? They fit the same.
I mean, the striped shorts are definitely a choice. I don't know, like the dark socks are different, but
it's like the stripes. I like the striped shorts better than the plain shorts. I like the white shirt on top better than the gray shirt on top. I like the pop of the blue hat more than I like the plain white hat.
Wait, somebody's wearing a white hat?
The Violet characters,
the Violet characters are wearing a white hat.
Those aren't gray?
I mean, sure.
They're like, the underside is white with like a gray brim, but it's mostly like shaded with shadow. It's the same in the blue, on the blue hats. It looks like it's navy on the underside, but it's not. It's going to be that bright blue. It's just kind of the shading, and then it's got a dark blue brim.
Wait, okay, so if we're... You know what, these are all dumb questions, never mind.
Ask your question, Brian.
There's no such thing as a dumb question.
Sure there are. Well, people ask them all the time. Usually people who say that they're just asking questions are asking dumb questions.
Uh-huh, okay.
If we're going to, like, look at these Violet character designs and say that the color that we're seeing there is a result of shadow, then, like, why are we not attributing shadow to it just, when I look at the scarlet, like these scarlet hats,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, like it just looks like these are blue hats with like a lighter blue accent on them, and then when I look at the violet hats, they're dark gray hats with a light gray accent, which like matches the design of the shirts, which is like a darker gray shirt with a light gray accent on the collar. It looks like the scarlet shirts are like that solid light blue, but I don't know. Like they're fucking outfits. They're fucking outfits. The one hat looks dumb. There's two hats. One of the hats looks dumb.
They're sun hats.
They're sun hats.
No, wait a minute. What does this one hat have anything to do with the fucking sun? Like there's one hat which has the wide brim. I can see how that's a sun hat. What's this other hat?
They have the same brim, Brian. They're just at different angles.
Like this one hat, like there's the one on the right and there was the one on the left. Mm-hmm. There's like the character who has like the ponytail, right? And then the character to the left of them. Mm-hmm. That is not the same hat.
It is 100% the same hat.
It's the same hat.
That is not the same hat.
It's the same hat.
It's the same hat, bro. Like, it really is. Her head's just tilted to the side, but like, they're the same hat.
Have you ever, like, that's the same hat. I have several of those hats. I have several of those hats. I promise you it's the same hat.
Did somebody's bad at drawing?
That could explain this series of events, but I'm pretty sure this is the same hat, man.
What? No, it's...
Yeah.
No.
It's the same hat.
No.
Yep.
Okay.
Fuck this hat.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, but I think I'm actually leaning towards a fire starter, which is like the first time I've done that in like a decade. I think the last fire starter I actually chose was like Chimchar.
The fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
It's a fire monkey. It's not more complicated than that. But I usually pick like the grass and water starters. I mean, it usually plays more into like my strategy when I like try to build or whatever. Like water starters are usually pretty expedient in early game, and grass starters like are like usually just cool looking, you know. But like, I usually skip fire starters because they're just like really strong in late game, and like I don't really care for that because the games are pretty simple to begin with. But like Fuecoco is speaking to me. I'm looking at this like little lazy fire crocodile, and I'm like, "Hey man, let's go on an adventure. Let's see what that's like."
He looks so excited to be here.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah! He looks like, if this were an anime, that would be the one that's like, I'm hungry all the time. Feed me food, and I want to take a nap.
Yeah, they're like, hey man, yeah, sure, dude, let's have a meal. Whatever.
That's exactly what he looks like.
I'm seeing, I can already feel a lot of, like, overlap between Quaxley and, like, Rowlet fans. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that's going to happen.
It's Rowlet and Ducklet. Like, both of them. If you like Rowlet, Ducklet, or Swanna, like, you're thrilled that there's a cool duck water Pokemon.
I'm looking at these animals, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And one of them is a cop.
One of them is a cop, and you're sure Quaxley's the cop?
Quaxley's a cop.
Okay, I get it, the hat. Like, it makes some sense. I understand what you're saying.
Look at his stoic expression.
Look at the
little... It's the little pose with the little flick out of the wrist, you know? They're like, it's a fashion.
It's like,
this duck has a passion for fashion.
Just look at this little Duck Lives Matter motherfucker. Like,
oh my god. Brian's declared war on Quaxley, as it turns out.
Like,
it's so cute. I love it.
Quaxley is just asking questions.
I like that Quaxley has both a hat and a pompadour, and I respect those choices.
I mean, Quaxley does look like a little shit, to be honest, and a lot of people are
I've used cell phone camera on Quaxley. It's very effective.
Oh my god, yeah, honestly. You were able to predict its moves. It had a meltdown on Twitter.
Oh god.
And then there's the weed cat.
Quaxley is unvaccinated.
No.
You really think Quaxley's I'm pretty sure they'll give you the option to vaccinate the Quaxley, Brian. You can choose to do so.
Quaxley's vaccinated, but is telling other people not to be vaccinated.
Oh god. Quaxley's Tucker Carlson?
Tucker Quackelson?
Oh god.
No! He's cute. It's fine. I hope Quaxley gets a fire move.
Now, I don't, like, you said weed cat, but I'm just looking at Fuecoco here, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Fuecoco says, it's 3 a.m., let's go to the Jack in the Box. We are fucked up.
Yeah, let's go. Are you not down?
Wait, what? Why is this about whether or not I'm down? I'm telling you that Fuecoco wants to go to Jack in the Box.
Rocky is asking you if you were picking a starter from this set, would you pick Fuecoco?
Right.
I think that between the three of these animals, I would probably go with Hello, Good Sir, the cat.
Hello, good sir. A little dapper gentleman. A little dapper boy. Here comes the boy. Hello,
fucking
boy.
leaf ascot and everything.
Yeah, he's definitely like, he's got that look. I think that, like, you know, he might, I think that, like, it's not fair to say that he's a weed cat just because he's got the thing on his face.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, is he's a weed cat because he's got the thing on his face.
Because I look at him and I look at the vibe, and I more see a cat that is like, I think his vibe is cat who is made of catnip, you know? Mm-hmm. That's more his energy.
Yeah, catnip cat.
Right. And then you've got, like, Fuecoco, who's like, it is 3 a.m. I have now had 8 whiskey sours, and I'm hungry. Does somebody here want to take me to Jack in the Box? And then someone's like, well, I've got a motorcycle license. And then Fuecoco says, but I don't have a motorcycle. And then they're like, well, let's take my car. And then like a third guy is now driving. That third guy doesn't have a license at all. And they're going to go to Jack in the Box. And Fuecoco is going to they're going to have him talk. Because they're like, he's the least, everybody shut up. Let Fuecoco order. He's the least fucked up of all of us. And he's just going to lean out the car window and be like, hey, how many tacos y'all got ready in there?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh no. At which point, they're like, sir, just pull on around front. And, they're going to send the manager out and be like, don't cause any trouble. And Fuecoco's like, we don't want to cause any fucking trouble. We just want tacos. And they're going to send them away with, a bag with, 24 tacos in it. And Fuecoco is going to sit there real satisfied just eating tacos in the car. And, look at the other two guys. One of whom he's known for a while. The other one he just met that night. And look at him and go, I love you guys. Just eating his tacos. That's Fuecoco.
I love you so much, man. I love you so much, man.
That is Fuecoco.
Looks great. Love him.
Fuecoco started a fight once at a Dave & Buster's. But the other guy had it coming.
Mm-hmm.
And, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Fuecoco really wishes people would take his management experience at Sunglasses Hut seriously. Because he had to balance the fucking books, and he took the deposit every night. That is Fuecoco. That is the story of Fuecoco.
Oh. Someone I saw on Twitter did see, they tweeted out, if they turn the cat into a man again, I will commit a crime.
Oh my god.
And I'm here to tell you, I believe with no uncertain terms is not the cat that will be a man, it is the duck. The duck is going to become a man. Look at that little pose! Look at that little neck ruff! That duck is going to be a man. Not a buff man, but a man. You know? He's going to be like an Italian model. It'll be great.
Oh god, Italian. You know what? I hope he gets the shoes. I hope he
I hope he gets a jawline.
A jawline, Tegan?
Yeah! Incineroar has that great muzzle shape, that's very definitive
about the trajectory of this conversation.
No, listen. I know what I'm talking about. So Litton's face, when it's soft and round and little baby, it's just mostly black with the red whiskers, and that's its only real accent piece. You have the same thing going on with Quaxley. You've got this round white face and this sharp yellow beak in the middle. I hope that in the adult form they change his head shape more so that it has some defining features in the front, so it's not just a blob of white with a blob of yellow in the middle.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
It does make more sense.
Does that turn it away from the direction you thought I was going down, you weird person?
Yes, it does. You can call me weird, that's fine, but you invoked a Pokemon jawline and Incineroar in the same sentence.
I am not playing Smash or Pass with Incineroar.
I'm just saying, those were the words that I heard over this call, alright?
Alright. Fair enough.
Jesus Christ. They're fucking animals. They're fucking animals.
Well, we're trying to avoid that, honestly, Brian.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is no one plays Smash or Pass with Pokemon. They're fucking animals. That one that looks like a leaf girl, stop it, internet. Stop it.
Oh, Gardevoir?
I'm tired of it.
They're not going to stop. But also...
I thought you meant...
was it Markiplier that did Smash or Pass with Pokemon last week or something?
Yup.
Yeah. He went through all 800 or whatever.
He did.
That was so fast.
Oh, it's wild. The art has been flowing as one would expect.
It's been 3 hours.
It's been 3 hours. People are already posting proposed variants. People have already added them into existing fan art they have of all of the starters together.
Mm-hmm.
I am seeing lots of love for this tiny cat. What a good cat! I'm so excited for this cat.
Oh man, you know what the internet is not excited for?
What?
is not excited for Knockout City.
It's not.
Yeah. I just want to talk about this. So Knockout City is a game I talked about before. It's a dodgeball kind of like team-based arena battle thing. I guess it's like a dodgeball-based MOBA, to be honest. But like, it's been out for a while. It came out through EA's, I think EA's Originals program. I think that's what it's called. And they are parting ways with EA and at the same time going free to play.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, like, you know, they're still doing their, like, pass or whatever. And so, like, they've done that from the beginning. And so, like, they kind of, like, entered the market as kind of like a budget game. I think it was like $20-$30. And then, like, you could pay for the pass to, like, rack up points for cosmetics and stuff. And they're wrapping up season 5, also year 2 of the game. And so they're going to do free to play starting this spring. I do still know people that play it, and like I do play it on occasion. I think it's neat. I think it's still a really cool idea. I don't need it to blow up or anything. Like, it doesn't need to be Fortnite. I just like for it to be around. And when games like this go free to play, you know, it's a bit of a worry. I'm concerned about what they're doing in the future. But this team has been good. They've been responsive to feedback, which is, you know, kind of rare, honestly, for a live services game, especially one that's like backed by like a major corporation. But now they're losing that backing, and they're going to try to stand on their own. And I hope it works out, you know? Like, I hope I don't have to pour one out for Knockout City. I just hope I can boot it up whenever I want to mess around with it.
Well, I hope they fix that. I don't know how do you fix that?
I don't know. Like, I feel like, because this is also something that happened with, like, say, Destiny, right? Like, Destiny was originally, like, a premium video game for sale. And then, at some point, they went free to play, and they also went independent. And now, you know, they're not quite independent anymore. They're going to be under Microsoft's umbrella and, you know, get
correction, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sony's umbrella.
Right, excuse me, fuck, you know, yeah, but Sony bought Bungie. Yeah, that's the sentence, excuse me, yeah. But yeah, they're gonna be under someone else's umbrella, which is what I actually meant to say. And they will get an infusion of cash that will make some things easier, but they definitely hung out and they serviced their fan base, and, you know, they ate a lot of criticism. I can't think of a week when Destiny had something happen that someone wasn't screaming at them about it, but, you know, they made it. And
I saw a really good tweet about Destiny the other day that reminded me of something.
Okay.
Which is when they launched Destiny 1, Bungie said, we have a 10-year plan for Destiny. And Jeff Grubb tweeted, we are currently 8 years into Bungie's 10-year plan for Destiny. And I'm just curious as to what the rest of that time looks like. You know, like, and what was, was getting bought part of that?
I don't know about getting bought, but, like, I think, I don't know, maybe their 10-year plan's more about, like, content instead of, like, you know, management and whatnot. But who knows? I hope that Knockout City ends up in a place that is sustainable, ultimately. And I have no idea if it will. Because I've definitely seen a couple projects from, like, EA just kind of fade into obscurity once they stop paying them for it. So, oh, god damn it, Brian. Did you make this?
Yes.
Or did you find... Okay.
Oh my goodness, no. We're gonna get so many angry duck friends.
Man, people need to leave this duck alone.
They're gonna be so mad at us.
By people, do you mean me?
No, I don't just mean you.
I foresee a time when you post this on the Twitter and we get a lot of angry tweets about this poor duck.
No, like, I saw a tweet. I'm not going to attribute it because I'm not interested in doing that right now. But there's a tweet that simply reads, I hope we all join hands uniting in common cause to bully the shit out of this dork-ass Pokemon. And then they post a photo of Quaxley.
That's amazing.
And that happened this morning, like 4
that
hours
happened
ago.
This morning. He is a little dork. I like him. Maybe I'll get the dork instead of the cat. Little nerd. Tiny little nerd in a pompadour. I can change him.
God damn it. But yeah.
So
okay, and there's a thing that Brian tweeted about that I definitely want the full brunt of whatever he feels about this, but Street Fighter 6 was announced this past week, and they put out a teaser trailer. They showed the new logo. The new logo is underwhelming at best. What we were starting our conversation with is the inclusion of Ryu's dick print in the teaser trailer. Brian, I assume you have thoughts.
Can we start with the logo?
Okay, sure.
All right. What the fuck is this? Like, what is the absolute fuck is this? So, like, I know a whole bunch of nerds who stayed up real late because they wanted to see this announcement, and they were like, oh, man. And, like, the announcement happened at, like, 11 p.m. my time, which means that there were, like, fucking dipshits staying up till, like, 1 in the morning on the East Coast to see what, like, Capcom was going to say. And I'm like, hey, I'm like, look, if this was a good announcement, if Capcom had their shit together, this was worth their while, they would not be doing it at 1 in the morning East Coast time.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Very much not wrong.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to use it to cap off their own tournament. Maybe they could have used it, like, as a different, like, separate event thing. But, Capcom, as far as, like, Capcom-controlled streams, outside of making a new one, like, this exhibition was probably going to be their opportunity to get the most eyes on it initially.
I think that if Capcom said, we are having a stream, tune in at this time for an important announcement, people will show up. Like,
I agree with that.
Yeah. And, like, if they did it, obviously we would need to see something like, like regional breakdowns for, like, where Capcom is selling most of their product. But, like, I think it's fair to say that at this point, most of Capcom's customer base is in the North American market. Just based on sheer volume.
I'm not so sure about that. I mean, it's possible, but I think it's... I think it'd be more accurate to say that it's spread across the global West. Because EU is actually a pretty big market for Capcom's, like, fighting game products nowadays.
Let's see here. I have, of course, Street Fighter sales by... region. Okay. 6 million total units. Yes, but where are the 6 million units? All right, this is a lot of work. I should have done this earlier.
No worries.
But so they have this fucking stream, and they announce, like, Capcom, everybody, here's a whole box of fighting games thing. And, like, what's wild is, like, I saw some people getting, like, really weirdly angry at that, like, collection of fighting games for no apparent reason. And, like, the reasons people were deciding to get angry at the collection of fighting games were, like, hilarious. Reason for getting angry at the collection of fighting games, number one, was, like, why are the puzzle fighter games in this box? And I'm like, well, first of all, fuck off. Second of all, the puzzle fighter games have always had, like, large followings in the fighting game community because these puzzle games are designed to feel like fighting games. Like, just point of fact, like, from the ground up, that's how they were designed. They're supposed to feel like fighting games. So their inclusion in this makes sense. Not to mention the fact that it's puzzle fighter and that it's filled with Street Fighter characters and backgrounds. Like, their inclusion in this collection makes sense. Also, like, some of the 4 Darkstalkers fans left were angry because they're like, well, yet another Darkstalkers re-release, but where is a new Darkstalkers game? I'm like, we're never getting another Darkstalkers game.
I mean, if you talk like that, I'm quitting the show. Don't do this to me, Brian. Are you kidding me? Everyone wants a new Darkstalkers.
Rocky, no one wants a new Darkstalkers.
No, fuck off, Brian. There are so many people that want a new Darkstalkers, and
Rocky,
Capcom
I
just
say
doesn't
that
believe these
wanting a
people
new
around.
Darkstalkers. I acknowledge the fact that I don't exist.
That doesn't make sense. Whatever. I don't care.
I'm
That's
not
not
real.
important to me right now.
I'm not real.
Everyone, listen to me. Listen to me. If you have $40 that you spend on anything this year, buy the new Darkstalkers. Buy the fucking collection so we can get a new fucking Darkstalkers.
All
right?
Capitalism doesn't work like that, Rocky. You know it doesn't. Like this whole idea of like buying a thing on like the fucking like ridiculous notion. Like if I buy this retail product, they might give me the privilege of buying another retail product. Like no, don't.
Brian, if the things don't sell, they don't make more. Why do you think everyone's screaming about Klonoa? Like Klonoa was a critical success. It didn't make all the money, you know? Like they keep making Final Fantasies. They keep making fucking Call of Duties. They're not doing that on accident. It's because everyone and their mom goes and buys them every year.
And when they made fucking when they re-released fucking Darkstalkers on Xbox 360 with online play, and it sold well, we saw what that did. Nothing.
It didn't sell that well. Like, I mean, it made money. It was a profitable venture for them, but it's not like a new flagship title. It's like, oh fuck, maybe people were really
and now Darkstalkers is one thing in this box of like 15 games. Like nobody at Capcom is going to sit there with a chart and go, oh, the needle pusher here was Darkstalkers. You know, like
Capcom did say that they included the Darkstalkers into the collection as a gauge for interest in a new Darkstalkers game. Like that's something that they actually said. Maybe it's bait. If it's bait, then it's fine. I'll apologize or whatever. But
the thing I want Capcom to do is, and I wanted it for some time, is just give people what they want, which is Capcom versus Capcom. So that way you can set all your own rules. You don't have to fucking deal with making business with Disney. Capcom has a large enough roster of characters that people love that they can make a traditional 2D fighting game filled with Capcom characters, and you cannot tell me that people would not want to do a fucking uppercut with Leon from Resident Evil. They want to do that. I'm just let me do fireball motions with Mega Man again, and let me settle into a fight between Zangief and Lady Dimitrescu, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Just give us Capcom versus Capcom. You know, you could even put on the front of the box, being hilarious, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
That would be amazing, actually.
That'd actually be pretty good.
Oh, no. Okay, pre-order bonus is Dante from the Devil May Cry series, and you get him on a card on the inside of the box. But actually, all copies of the game that are released in the first 5 years come with that code for Dante from the Devil May Cry series on the inside of the box.
So
it just has to have the awkward, stupid sticker on the front.
Right, exactly. It just needs the sticker. The sticker's actually it's physically on the outside of the box, and then also photoshopped onto the cover art underneath.
So you can't even take it off if you wanted to?
It's poorly photoshopped.
Oh god.
I want Dante, whenever he does this fucking great sword parry, he just shouts featuring just lean into the meme. Do the meme.
That would be very fun.
Yes.
That would be very fun. I would like a game that's just memes.
Mixed bag. I've seen a couple. It hasn't been executed well yet.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, I Jesus, I didn't know I would arrive at this point in my life, but I actually need to talk about this dick print. It's important. Yeah, I know. So the thing about Ryu's dick print in the teaser trailer, I think it's made to appeal to a different audience rather than like the standard fighting game audience. And I do think that from actually, leading back to about Street Fighter 4 in 2009, Capcom has been trying to aggressively grow the fighting game scene to, expand their customer base and all the other reasons or whatever. And in 4, what they did is that they focus a lot more on like character expression in addition to adding new characters. And then in Street Fighter 5, they decided to like flatten the experience and like shorten the match time so that more people could get in and out of games. It'd be an easier pick up and go experience. And I think Street Fighter 6, one of the things that they are doing is try to reach out to different audiences. And I think that's specifically trying to get the girls and the gays into Street Fighter 6. Like, I don't think that's an accident. I don't think that's something that they made for the sake of just like, as a throwaway thing. It's something that like that particular audience would notice and that would make the current audience a little uncomfortable. Because it's not like, you could have like, the dude bros like say that they're going to boycott Street Fighter 6, but like they don't play it anyways. Like that's not how they spend their time. It's usually like a very small insular community that's probably going to buy the game anyways. But I don't think that's necessarily the way they should do it. I think it's a good idea. I think that there's a lot more things on the terms of like accessibility and like just getting into the experience that we've already seen in other like franchises or like properties that are useful here. And Jesus Christ, like Street Fighter 6 should be free to play. I think there should be a rotating roster of free characters. I think it should be a very simple thing that should have like limited like person to person interactivity because like the act of playing a fighting game is so interactive in the first place. I think it should have rollback netcode, which it might have because they definitely put it onto Street Fighter 5 as an afterthought initially. I don't know, and I don't want to bet that Capcom is doing any of these things because they may absolutely not. But I do see that what they're trying to do, especially like with this particular thing, is try to get other people interested in Street Fighter. And this is one of the ways you can do it.
It's a big dick.
I mean, good for him, man. Shoutouts.
I mean, he's...
Let's go. Let's do this, I guess.
Whoa.
Is it?
Whoa.
I don't think it's a big dick.
Whoa. You don't think he's hung like a fucking rhinoceros?
No,
Oh, I don't think that.
Not. I don't think so. I don't think he's hung based on this photo, no.
I mean, I think he has significant girth, if that's what we're going to get into, but I this doesn't really like communicate length, really.
All right. We need to ask the question here.
Okay.
Based on what we know about Ryu, is he a grower or a shower?
We don't know, but based on this image, I'd be inclined to call him a shower. And I guess based on this history of the series, I think that lines up.
Ken Masters, grower or shower?
No idea.
Neither.
What?
I
What? You cannot be neither.
Yeah, you can.
I'm interested in this. Tell me, Teeks. Walk me through this idea.
Ken Masters
has
is a super like a bodybuilder type.
Okay.
And so it is basically like flush against their body. And because of all of the unfortunate injuries to the area, it no longer functions.
I mean, I'm glad he got a daughter beforehand.
Yeah, for sure. Like he got that early in the series, so at least his legacy lives on or whatever.
So are you saying Ken has a weird broken penis?
She's saying Ken has no dick.
Yeah, none. None whatsoever.
So you're saying that Ken doesn't, he, like, that whenever he, like, pulls down his trousers at the doctor's, like, the doctor's like, oh, God, it's a mess down there. And, like, Ken's like, you know that. You're my doctor. You've seen it before. And he's like, I forgot. Like, that's...
I mean, honestly, like, Ken's pants are looser overall because of the kind of gi he's wearing. So, like, I don't think it's necessarily that much of an issue.
Doesn't he wear the same gi as Ryu? Isn't he just a palette swap with different hair?
He hasn't been a palette swap for like 5 years now, Brian. Arguably longer since Street Fighter 4, but you know.
The inseam in his pants is longer. On the art that I can tell. Looks like his pants are a different cut from Ryu's. From all of this stuff. Like, in the original art, yeah, they're wearing essentially the same outfit. But, in recent renderings, the pants are definitely different. But Ryu, I think this is all angles on Ryu's part.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know this about me, but I have been in the cosplay scene, and I know I have seen more, unprotected, unshielded men's private parts in form-fitting costumes than I ever need to see in my entire life. Mm-hmm. And I think, unfortunately, Ryu is stuck where he is, and using the angles of this image to make you think that he's going to be larger than he ends up being.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. No, I'm caught up. I think I got it.
Like, Ken had a daughter and then was grievously injured and had to have reconstructive bottom surgery. But Ryu just wants you to be impressed, you know? And the way he's going to impress you is he's going to pick you up like you weigh nothing and then slam you onto the bed so hard that you bounce off 5 feet. Like, that's it. That's what he's going to do. But he's not going to rock your world with anything anytime soon.
Also, I'm definitely a proponent of the idea that Ryu is probably canonically gay, but you know, whatever. It hasn't been really touched on, but like Sakura definitely asked him to put a baby in her, and he had no reaction.
No, like,
he could also be like Ace.
Yeah, he could be Ace,
or it could be the fact that he's like, Jesus Christ, like, you're like, how old is Sakura when she's like, please put a baby inside of me?
25,
and he's like, what, like 50 at this point?
He's not that much older than her.
How? Right. Hey Siri. How old is Ryu?
He was born in 1964.
Right. Street Fighter V takes place, I think, like, just before Street Fighter 3, which, like, would have made it, like, shit, was it the 80s? I don't know if that's right.
Alright.
Like, the history of Street Fighter is much shorter than, like, the amount of time that's passed in the Street Fighter universe.
Yeah, we still haven't had our Fast and the Furious
Street Fighter crossovers
Tokyo Drift moment yet, have we? Like, because, like, Street Fighter 3 is canonically the last one of the series. And so, like, we still haven't caught up to Street Fighter 3.
Right.
Yeah. Alright, I'm finding the age difference between Sakura and Ryu. 1 second.
It's about 8 years.
Ryu's canonical birthday is July 21st, 1964.
Mm-hmm.
What's Sakura's canonical birthday?
I don't know.
Let me see if I can find it.
This is a screen. I got a screen from Street Fighter 2 with his canonical birthday on it.
It says March 15th, but it doesn't give a year.
Oh, good. I'm sorry, I'm just having one of those moments where, like, you know, like, good thing that, like, you know, I could find the fucking blood type. Let's see here. One second while I immerse myself into this biography of Sakura.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah.
She decided to track him down and find him when she was 16, but I don't
March
know when
15th,
she...
1977. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's a much different year.
That's
Where did this
right.
come from?
That's right. So it could just be that, like, Ryu doesn't fuck Sakura because he's not a scumbag. Like, there's plenty of reason for him not to fuck Sakura outside of, like, being gay and ace. It could just be that he's a responsible fucking adult. He's just like, if I fuck Sakura, I'm a scumbag. Like, there's plenty of reason for him not to fuck her. Like,
I'm not seeing an actual source in this year.
vote now on your phones.
Okay, so Ryu was 27 when Street Fighter 2 came out. And Street Fighter 5, according to the timeline of the games, apparently he's like 30. And Sakura's supposed to be like 19 or 20-ish. It looks like there's an 8-year age difference. Street Fighter 1, he's 23, 1987. Street Fighter 2, 1988, he's 24, and Sakura is 16. So if there's an 8-year age difference, then Street Fighter 4 Ryu is 31 and Sakura is 23 or 24.
Okay, so, like, so she shows up, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, talking about, like, when Ryu meets Sakura, she's, like, straight up obsessed with him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, like, some fucking teenager shows up and is like, I'm obsessed with you, put a baby inside of me. Does any responsible person respond to that by saying, why, yes, I will put a baby inside of you? Like, there's no...
Well, I mean, no one would say that sentence ever, I think. That's just a weird sentence to say out loud.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
Is Sakura, like, but as they age, as Sakura becomes, like, a fully legal, mature adult, and she stays like an excellent fighter and continues tracking after him, like...
No! Because there's no, like, there is a wild, like, there is something fucking up with her. Like, if she just shows up and it's like, I'm obsessed with you, fuck me, sir. Like, there is something wrong with her. She
That's
needs
also not
help.
what happened, but whatever.
Sakura, there's something going on with her. She needs, like, she's not well. She's not well, and there will always be that power imbalance between them because of, like, the way she perceives him. And any kind of, like, approach to a romantic relationship, which is like you don't attempt to start a romantic relationship with put a bun in this oven.
No, I'm not saying any of this is healthy, but I'm saying, like, does he, like, flat out turn her down, or does he just ignore her? Because I feel like a good responsible man would turn her down.
Yes.
But
Point
he
of
doesn't do
fact,
that.
done.
He actually just ignores her.
He just ignores her.
Then fuck him again. Fuck him.
Okay.
Fuck him.
It's
This dick Brit though. See, that's me getting back on task, Rocky.
Oh. Yeah, but I think it may actually get some people interested in the game that, like, don't normally fit into Capcom's historical audience. And so I think it was a good idea. I'm not going to knock him for it. Who wants to do news?
Quaxley is a cop.
No, he's just a little man.
Oh,
Give him a little boat hat and a SEAL uniform.
Joe popped in. He actually said that Quaxley's not a cop, but he's a cop's grandson.
Oh, valid. Actually, you know what? Yes. His mom definitely bought him, like, tiny little 1940s replica vintage sailor uniforms when he was a kid, and he took all his baby pictures in that. Him and his dog had like matching naval uniform baby pictures.
If anything, Quaxley is the heir to a TV dinner empire.
Yeah, there it is.
Amazing. Quaxley's dad invented toaster strudel.
No. Quaxley's dad doesn't do shit. He just is a loser. Quaxley's dad married into the TV dinner empire.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yes.
Mom is the...
That's fine.
Yeah, mom is the TV dinner heiress. And dad is just like, whatever, I'm just a local newsman. And now I don't do nothing except play tennis and lobby for the Republican Party. And Quack's just like, I'm a child of privilege.
Quaxley's a child of privilege, but ends up like very liberal, but is so privileged he doesn't understand that like what being liberal is.
No, Quaxley.
He thinks he's being an ally, but he's like actuallying all the time.
Quaxley is a Republican. He really is. Quaxley uses the phrase, I don't see race, in all seriousness.
Quaxley's a child. We have to see what it evolves into to determine if he stays a Republican.
Quaxley evolves into Tucker Carlson.
No, he's just a little man.
I've never seen a single correct evolution call, like in the 25 years of the series, so, anything can happen.
I mean, the cute, scared iguana lizard turned into a fucking spy. Like...
Did turn into a fucking spy. He was a sniper. Fucked me up.
My tiny soccer bunny turned into fucking anime. Like, who fucking knows at this point? Who knows?
I'm just saying that this Pokemon series is not above having Pokemon that are obviously Donald Trump. So the fact that they've introduced Cop Duck.
No, he's Donald Duck, not Donald Trump.
No, there was a different Pokemon that looked like Donald Trump.
Yeah. So the series is not above having Cop Duck. They love having Cop Duck. Cop Duck, when he does his fucking final evolution, he's gonna have that Punisher tattoo. They don't
know. He's a cute little man.
He's a cute little
man.
Ryu should just tell Sakura to go home.
I mean, he should. It's weird that he hasn't.
He should have said, this is what he should have said. He should have said, you know what? Wait for me at home.
No!
And then just never come back.
He should not
and then
say
just
that.
never come back. You know what? Yes, actually, wait for me. Finish your education and then wait for me with your degree. And then just never come back again.
That seems uniquely damaging.
That would have allowed her to be reintegrated with peers of her age. She would have realized how weird her relationship was, gotten assistance, and then, been attracted to people her own age, maybe. Or maybe she would have found herself, a DILF. Like a proper DILF. Who did want to fuck her. And paid for all of her stuff.
Why is this DILF also a sugar daddy? Why does that have to be that?
It's usually how it shakes out.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes. Usually a DILF is also, financially independent and responsible. Able to take care of their own house and their own food situation. So, that's attractive to women.
So many fucking things. So many fucking things. All right.
It's not that many fucking things. Tell me about what's going on, Brian.
All right. Anyway, this news. Things happened. Nobody cares. All right.
Lots of things have happened in the last week. Will they be resolved by the time this show comes out? No idea. We'll find out together.
Oh, these?
I sure hope.
No. I specifically picked ones that will not be resolved.
Oh, no.
So some Activision Blizzard shareholders are suing Activision Blizzard.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And the reason for the lawsuit is that the Activision Blizzard shareholders say that the sale of the company to Microsoft disproportionately benefits Activision Blizzard executives, and so that they are not acting in the best interest of Activision Blizzard shareholders. I don't know. I just wanted to bring this up because, this seemed to be one of those kind of stories that, like, core reminds me that, capitalism is terrible. That, I think one thing is for damn sure. And we've talked about this idea on the show before, that, like, while we're not wild about the idea of further consolidation in the video game industry because of what it represents in terms of, like, reduced competition and fundamental changes in the way the industry approaches design for games and all that stuff. One thing that the purchase of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft likely represents is a reduction in gender and race-based harassment at Activision Blizzard. That, like, at the very least, like, if we're sitting here looking for silver linings in that acquisition, that is one. Because, while Microsoft may have its own problems, being an actual hellscape for women, non-binary people, and people of color doesn't seem to be one of Microsoft's problems from a management perspective. So, like, we were like, okay, yeah, there's a mountain of problems from a ethical and market consideration standpoint with Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. But at the very least, what would happen is that it would become a healthier place for people to work, and inevitably what will happen is that Bobby Kotick will be shown the door. And though I think when we were sitting around talking about bullet points of things we want in this world, Activision Blizzard being a safer place to work and Bobby Kotick leaving are things that we wanted.
Yes, that is accurate.
But, like, like, the way this made me feel, reading about, like, people suing Activision Blizzard and saying, like, no, this isn't good for us. It just made me think about how the fact that, like, capitalism is uniquely terrible in that it erases all nuance from everything. That is it. Like, capitalism is a thing which erases everything except for the ability to amass more capital from consideration. Like, it could, like, this is a person suing this company because they're like, no, if you get absorbed by Microsoft, I will not make enough money. And it's just like, it's just not like, I'm suing because this is bad for the marketplace, or I'm suing this because this is bad for the video game industry, or I don't believe that X, Y. Like, no, it's just like, I will not make enough money if you sell out. And I'm just like, I can't think of any environment where I'm like, yeah, okay, like, on one hand, like, I do honestly worry about stuff like anti-competitive issues with, like, an acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft. But on the other hand, then I see this guy who's just like, I'm not going to make enough money if you sell out. I'm like, fuck him and fuck everything he cares about. Like, so I just wanted to open the floor to discussion to y'all and be like, how do you feel about this? Like, how do you feel about shareholders of Activision Blizzard suing Activision Blizzard because they're like, I'm not going to make enough money if you sell out?
I mean, I don't feel anything about this. I think it sucks, and they deserve to lose, and I hope they do so quickly, to be honest. Like, I feel like this is a move that's always available to them. It's not a good one, and it will likely not result in their success.
Right.
As long as we live in a good and just world. But that's fine. They can make it, and they can lose and waste their time. I hope it's the most expensive mistake they've ever made. But, like, otherwise, like, I don't know. I don't feel anything for these people. I'm not going to get wrapped up in their story.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here, like, reading the Kotaku coverage of this, and I'm like, I'm not even sure that, like, Kotaku's take is right, because, like, they have, like, this, like, list of bullet points, at the, like, in the middle of the article where they're like, and here's what the individual payouts will be for various C-level executives if they make it to the completion of the sale. Like, here's what the CFO will get, and here's what the COO will get, and here's what the CAO will get, and like these are like some kind of like damning bullet points, and I'm like, okay, like, so the CFO is going to get, $25.3 million. At this point, and I know it sounds like damning to say it, but like, who cares? Who fucking cares? Like, the scale of this deal is like $68 billion with the B. Some fucking guy's gonna get $25 million if this sale happens. Like, it seems like that person getting $25 million, like, pales in consideration to like considerations for like what this does to the market and how this changes the video game industry and what happens to the people who work at Microsoft and what happens to people who work at Activision, and what happens to historical consideration of Activision's back catalog. Like, there's so many more like larger questions which I think are meaningful versus like thinking about whether or not 4 or 5 like C-level executives are going to get like large payouts upon the completion of the sale. Like, like, capitalism has always had, tools and provisions like in a public traded space for, incentivizing, payouts to the stewards of money. Like, it's like, oh, okay, somebody somewhere is going to make more money, and so therefore, sir, you get some money. Like, it's like, okay, and it just, all right, these executives are going to get some money. Great, bad, whatever. Who cares? Like, who cares? Who cares? Like, there are bad. Like, it just seems like unless we're going to get angry about the idea of C-level executives getting like massive payments, which are not actually representative of like their contributed labor, in general, I don't know why it's worth getting mad about those kind of payments, in particular in this instance when there are much more meaningful like topics, to discuss with this sale. Like, the story here is, I think, like, people sue Activision Blizzard because they're not making money fast enough, and I'm with Rocky. Like, I hope they fail. I hope they fail. Which isn't even to say that, like, I hope that the sale goes through, because like I'm not sure I do want the sale to go through because of its like anti-competitive implications, but I don't want the sale to not go through because these people are like, I'm not getting paid enough money fast enough. Like,
I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, I don't think we're remotely in danger of that outcome.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I have no doubt that the federal government is going to let this sale happen. Like, no doubt whatsoever. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, whatever, plenty of people make video games. Like, that's like, I cannot think of the last time that the federal government like remotely took their antitrust obligations seriously. Like, it is, we are full on out there with some fucking like General Steel, like just it's ridiculous. So, fuck these guys. In summary, fuck these guys.
I mean, for sure. Fuck you, Kyle Watson.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if the sale still went through, but this in particular lawsuit like resulted in a like reduction in what the CEOs got paid out after everything,
I mean, that could be cool. I mean, Kodak's gonna make like $15 million no matter what, but if that somehow turns into 12, I'm gonna count that as a win.
Right, if it could, like, if maybe like what happens is like they win, and what they do is they take some of what that payout would have been and give it back to the shareholders or something. Like, I feel like that would be a win-win for everybody, except for the part where, antitrust issues. Like, other than that, I feel like it'd be a win-win.
Yeah. Who knows? There's definitely a lot of fish in this fucking kettle here.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Our next story is a side story from DICE 2022. I wish I could actually tell you guys more about DICE and their secretive meetings, but I haven't gotten the invitation. Maybe it got lost in the mail. But one of the things that did come out of it is that Riot Chief Operating Officer John Doyle, in a conversation about between large companies like Electronic Arts, Microsoft, that's turned toward returning to the office. Doyle decided to say, and I quote, "I think the days of 5-day work weeks in the office are over." And Riot is currently actually operating on a 1-3-1 system where most people don't go in on Mondays or Fridays and instead are in the office Tuesday through Thursday, mostly for like important meetings and like that kind of thing. And they plan to retain this strategy indefinitely, or at the very least after like COVID-19 is less of a going concern. Who knows if that'll ever happen. Riot itself is drawing up plans for bringing people back into the office later in 2022, and that's a direct quote. But if the COO is saying, "Hey, if we never go back to 5-day work weeks, that's fine with me," that's kind of a big deal, and maybe it'll have ripple effects in the future. So keep an eye out for it, especially an office worker.
I have a question.
What's up, Brian?
How is Riot going to be able to meet their minimum daily quota of harassment of female employees if everyone continues to be at home?
Well, hopefully, because of the people that are working within Riot, maybe that becomes less of a going concern. And if that falls by the wayside, if they fail to meet that quota, maybe they never pick it back up, Here's hoping.
Yeah.
I think one way that they could continue to meet that quota, if they so wanted to, was instead of harassing female employees, they started harassing female players, just like the fan base does.
Oh, okay. That is one way to do that.
I've been following like dispatches from DICE kind of with interest because it seems to be like the first full-fledged event for the game industry since the beginning of the personal pan pizza. Because like we know that like there was no E3 in 2021, and E3 announced that it was canceled for 2022. They claimed that the reason they canceled for 2022 was the Parcheesi, but I think there was a lot of side-eyeing that cancellation announcement because it appears to be that like there was just less interest from what like E3 has to offer, with so much of the game industry like I guess like taking time to like court the public instead, and like a lot of what E3 had to offer in the first place isn't, I guess, necessary anymore. Like E3 used to be like courting toy retailers and courting mainstream retailers and like, hey, mainstream retailer, check out this video game which is coming out in November. It's gonna just light the kids' dicks on fire. Like there was this there was like a chain of custody of knowledge that came out of E3 where the reason E3, like this is so old fashioned, but here we go. Sorry guys, Jesus Christ.
No, it's okay. It's important.
The reason
E3
for people
who don't know. The
reason E3 was in June and has been in June now for over 20 years, like 25 years. The reason E3 is in June was traditional print media needed a 3-month run-up for their coverage in the fall. So the reason you had this giant junket that was 3 days long, which had lots of behind closed door events, was so that way like Game Pro and Electronics Gaming Monthly and Next Gen and all of those magazines could send reporters to play a bunch of games, take a bunch of pictures, do interviews, in order to make their like magazines that would be coming out in like September and October. The timing of E3 is based on like advertising campaigns and print media cycles. Like it's weird that this thing that tells everybody what they're gonna want to buy in like November happens in June, but it's because it's based on like old models, and so like E3 has increasingly come under like I guess like scrutiny because of that, because it's like, why in the fuck do we have this thing that like does this? And it's like, you know, Nintendo was sort of like really the first one to kind of like go like, yeah, you know what, no thanks, and just like start doing a thing instead. Like the most important part about the Nintendo Direct is that the language that was used and the way it was built was designed to address consumers directly.
Right.
Ergo direct. Like, it's even in the fucking name. Like, it's not like Nintendo through retailer, Nintendo through press media. Like, it's like, let's talk to customers themselves. And it seems like, you know, they got the first part of the puzzle at this point, like nearly a decade ago, when they started talking to customers directly. And they just recently have gotten another part of it, which is like, why in the world would we want to do like these like 9-month or multiple year run-ups of anticipation on information when instead we can now do like smaller, tighter marketing windows and just be like, hey, here's a game that's going to be out in a few months. Just like they're like Nintendo's, like, for the most part, there are a few outliers, but a lot of those outliers happened before this change in philosophy. Nintendo now mainly just like announces a game and then a few months later it's fucking out. Like, they're like, hey, get everybody, Mario Soccer MOBA, like, in your area, like, you know, very quick run up. Like, most of the stuff which they have, which doesn't use that model, was stuff that was like announced before they shifted philosophies. Like, now the Nintendo Directs are generally, here's stuff coming out in the next few months, period. They just have a few like hanging chads from like before they shifted this philosophy. I think that we'll start to see, you know, like more of this shift across like the way the industry communicates, because it seems like when you announce a game 3 years ahead of time, all that happens is like the game gets caught up in its own coverage about delays or what's going on. Like, I think about like how much Dying Light 2 hurt itself by announcing itself like 3 years before release. Because by the time like Dying Light 2 finally came out, everyone was like wary of Dying Light 2. They're like, what's going on with Dying Light 2? You know, like it had trouble development. They're like, no, it just had video game development. But because,
I mean, that's on them for announcing it so far in advance, though.
Yeah, just like that. But that's the thing is that like I think the model has to change, like with much shorter windows, because the longer your announcement sits unresolved, I think now the more like it's more likely that like a public will not trust the released product because of how long they were aware of it.
Like, it's one thing if you're just like, oh, it's in development, but we don't have a subtitle, we don't have anything yet. You know? Because, like, that's what Nintendo's done with Breath of the Wild. They're just like, or Breath of the Wild 2. They're like, we're developing Breath of the Wild 2. That's it. You'll find out more when you find out more. And they haven't said shit about it since. So, that might be okay, I think. But maybe that's just because, like, Zelda games have end up with a notoriously long cycle.
As an aside, the announcement of this Pokemon shit this morning made me certain that like there will be no Zelda game this year. I was like, that was the nail in that coffin for me.
The fact that they're like that's flagship time.
Yeah.
So up until they'd announced Gen 9, I was pretty much like, yeah, it's coming out this year, but now it's like, it's not coming out this year.
Yep.
There's no way.
Yep.
They're not going to compete with themselves. Like,
yep.
we all know this.
Yeah. It's like, Nintendo wants to, like, consider the possibility that, like, there are going to be people who walk into a store and buy one packaged product this year from them. They don't want to put...
Yeah.
They don't... And you're exactly right. They don't want to compete with themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that mean, though, does Zelda then move to March? Like Breath of the Wild does? And it releases
that's my guess.
it'll release around the anniversary of the first one.
Yeah, it'll be around into Q1 because we know that like end of Q1 is also a big time for games because of tax refund season.
March 3rd is a Friday.
Yep.
That seems good. That seems about alright. Fine. I'll wait another year. I'll do it. I'll do it for you, Nintendo.
Yep. I know we've said it before, but I think it's going to be an interesting holiday season for Nintendo because it seems to be a thing which is entering the discourse more frequently now about like Nintendo games, and especially around Pokemon games. Is Pokemon game gets announced and people look at the Pokemon game and go like, I like Pokemon, but this game sure does look like dog shit. It seems to me that there's like growing concerns around like the graphical fidelity of like Nintendo products. And like knowing that like the Switch was underpowered when the Switch was introduced, there's increasingly like less wizardry that people other than Nintendo directly with their own in-house development seem to be able to like pull out of the thing. And it's like, okay, like how long can they hold off making a leap? Like, I understand, like, their next console will also be underpowered, but, the Switch itself is not as powerful as a PS4 or an Xbox One, and, like, it's starting to feel long in the tooth, especially with, like, so many other options available. Like, how much longer can they hold out? I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
How much longer can they put off a new generation because this generation is selling so well?
But I mean, like, what does that look like? Are you saying that at some point, like, people will just stop buying Nintendo games because they realize they don't look as good?
I think that what will happen is that the attachment rate is going to drop. Like, people are like, how many games are people buying for their Switches each year? Mm-hmm. Will it come to a point where like people are buying like, like the all caps, like the big Nintendo game, but they're not going to buy any of Nintendo's like what we'll call like B tier titles. They're not going to buy like the tennis game or the fun soccer game. Like, at what point do people stop like attaching to the B tier titles because of like graphical fidelity concerns? Like, they'll still buy Zelda because Zelda's fucking Zelda. They'll still buy mainline Mario because Mario's fucking Mario. But at what point do they go like, I can skip that? Like, even when they like showed that Splatoon trailer recently, I heard people going like, Splatoon doesn't look good. Splatoon looks like it, looking a little rough. Splatoon's looking a little rough.
So I think the difference between how Nintendo does trailers and how other games do trailers is Nintendo does not release final product as trailers. Where they don't do like big fancy cinematic trailers the way that other games do. They show it like as it is in development. Not like, we've polished up this trailer really, really nicely specifically for marketing purposes. They're like, nope, this is what it looks like right now. Here you go. It'll look better when it releases, because it always looks better when it releases. Like, genuinely, it always looks better when it releases. I'm not super worried about Pokemon right now, because, like, I see Legends Arceus, I know how nice it looks, and, like, the areas that have been, basically, that use the stuff from Legends Arceus look fine. It's just the other stuff that doesn't look ready, and that makes sense. And, like, I'm worried because of how short it is, but I'm not worried that, like, it won't look good. I just think that's a lot of crunch for a company. But, like, I'm not worried about Splatoon looking good, because, like, the other Splatoon games look great when they came out, and they didn't look super great in the trailers.
How did we get here?
You were talking about graphical fidelity.
No, I understand that. How do we get there? Because this is a 3-day work week at Riot, and I'm like, now we're into the graphical fidelity of Splatoon, and I'm like, I'm a bad host because I would have, if I were a good host, I would have gotten myself back on track. There we go.
I thought you wanted these podcasts to sound like conversations.
It's true.
Staying on track is not indicative of having an actual conversation. So I think this makes our podcast sound more natural.
Fantastic. I did hear that dice smells like diarrhea. You hear that, Rocky?
I hate that for them. I didn't hear it, no.
Yeah. No, when Adam Boyes checked into... like the main hotel for DICE. He's like, yeah, word of the street is that the hotel is aware that the hotel smells like diarrhea. They're going to get some stuff here to try and make the hotel smell nicer. Then there were some other people who were tweeting like, yeah, the hotel smells like diarrhea.
There's this like account on TikTok where these like middle-aged men like speak like authoritatively about like bullshit, but it looks really stupid. And like it's a bit like, for example, one of them where they have like the green screen behind them, they just have images like floating or whatever, and it's just like, always trust a fart, just shit your pants, be a man. And like that's the TikTok.
Oh my god.
And like there's like 30 of those. They're all fucking ridiculous, but like that's what that reminds me of for some reason.
I'm just trying to picture Adam Boyes like walking over to the counter all serious and at this hotel like, excuse me, are you aware that your hotel smells like diarrhea? And then like some like embarrassed desk clerk like, yes sir, we're aware that the entire building smells like diarrhea. We're on it. We're trying to like solve the diarrhea problem. Just like, apparently what they ended up doing was like pumping in this like, you know, hospitality industrial grade air freshener into the place, and so now the place just smells like a rental car. Yeah. Which, I mean, I suppose I would have to weigh, like, you know, when you weigh the blood price of it all smells like diarrhea or it all smells like rental car, I guess I'm going to go rental car.
Well, I mean, what someone has to do, someone has to take up their sword and walk into the basement and slay the evil where the diarrhea smell is coming from. That's the only thing they can do. But clearly the person with the sword is on vacation during the DICE conference, and they knew it because he's been asking for a raise for about a year or so, and they were just fucking him over it. So he's like, you know, fine.
They were like, yeah. Next quarter. We'll see about it next quarter. We'll see about it after this. Never happened.
And he's like, fuck all y'all, I'm playing Elden Ring this weekend.
Yeah. And now they don't have their sword guy. So, you know, now who's embarrassed?
Everybody who has to smell the diarrhea dragon. Oh, God. I hope it is a dragon.
I hope it's like a gelatinous cube, actually. So, like, it's even something that, like, the sword guy would have had to call someone else about anyways. But, like,
Man, okay. Here I am again.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember that 1970s animated version of The Hobbit?
No.
Okay, during the 70s, The Lord of the Rings was, like, real big the first time.
Cool.
Like, it caught on, and it was, like, it was huge with hippies. Yeah,
that makes sense, yeah.
Yes, they fucking loved it. And they made an animated version of The Hobbit and an animated version of The Return of the King. And I grew up on these, you know, my house had them on VHS. And I remember animated Smaug from animated The Hobbit was like such a fucking badass. He seemed so cool and tough, and like he just like Smog was like he was a raw cartoon motherfucker. And I just remember like the bit where like Bilbo sneaks into Smog's, cavern, at the Lonely Mountain, and in the cartoon, Smog's like, "Well, I could smell you," because like Bilbo's wearing the One Ring.
Yeah.
And now I'm just picturing some guy sneaking into the basement of this fucking Hilton, and like there's this giant turd dragon made of gel, and he's like, "Well, you could smell me." It just goes the other way. Oh Lord. Oh my God. Oh Lord. The duck is a cop.
Oh man, maybe Duck and Sequoia will come around on Quaxley.
Duck and Sequoia is absolutely picking Quaxley.
Oh man, I just gotta remember to not fight him before I have like a solid electric type on my team or something. Jesus, because that's gonna be times 4 weeks of lightning. There's no way it's not. But Brian, I think you actually have our next story.
Yeah. So this kind of goes back to like, like one of my favorite hobbies on this show is reading too much into tweets. And I remember the day that Valve announced the Steam Deck. We found out that there had been a whole bunch of media outlets that had been like invited to come to Seattle for a week and to like play with Steam Decks, even take them off of Valve's campus. They just had to return them at the end of the week, and then fly home and write about the Steam Deck. Like that there had been this like huge press junket that had been done in secret. But one of the tweets that happened that first day came from cool dad Phil Spencer, who tweeted a picture of his tray table on an airplane, and he tweeted a picture of a Steam Deck sitting on his tray table beside a glass of champagne, and he's like, "Congratulations to my friends at Valve, and thank you for the Steam Deck, and wish you all the best." And then we saw a tweet from him a couple weeks later of like his Steam Deck just like sitting on his desk at home, and that of like all the things that had happened, like one of the things that happened from that first batch of Steam Decks was they invited all the press in the world to come up there and fuck with that thing for a week, and then they sent them home without Steam Decks and said, "You'll get your Steam Decks eventually, buddy." But Phil Spencer got a Steam Deck to keep right then and there. Like, and it really just got me thinking, because we had already seen like that shift in philosophy, around like how Microsoft releases PC games, because we know that for the longest time Microsoft tried to push people into, hey, if you want that Microsoft game day one on PC, you have to get it from the Windows Store. You have to get it from the Windows Store. And people were like, well, that fucking sucks. And so they would just not buy day one Microsoft games, because it meant like doing it from the Windows Store, and people were like pretty married to the Steam launcher. And then Microsoft like flipped a switch as far as internal philosophy goes, and goes like, okay, like day one, you could buy the game on Steam, but if you're an Xbox Game Pass member, then you need to like download the game from the Windows Store. And so like that seemed to be a bit of a shift, and like it seemed to be that like Microsoft was like slowly cozying up to Valve, and
Makes some sense.
yeah, and we know like if one were to dig into Gabe's history, like what was the last place that Gabe ever worked at before he started Valve? Microsoft. Like he has ties there. He has long-standing ties. And it's like, okay, so what advantages are there to Microsoft cozying up with Valve? And it's like, well, Valve already has like these significant inroads into like the PC as a platform, and what advantages are there to Valve in cozying up to Microsoft? And it feels like pretty obvious. Like right now, Epic is trying to eat Valve's lunch. Like Epic is throwing as much money as they humanly can at being like, come to the Epic Store, come to the Epic Store. Like, like we'll have this game here, we'll have this game here that you can download for free, or this game is a exclusive that you have to pay for that we have on our store. But if at some point Valve were to say like, and now you can use Xbox Game Pass through Steam, that feels like a pretty significant win for them. Like it's one of those like, customers love to stretch for convenience. Customers love to go for the easiest solution. And if it's like, oh, okay, well, you can just use Xbox Game Pass here. Like, Microsoft wants as many people to sign up for Xbox Game Pass as possible. How many new possible customers do they get for people who are not currently Xbox console owners and are PC gamers who don't necessarily even have the Windows Store, like, active on their device? Like, they will almost certainly get new people integrated into their ecosystem by offering it through Steam. And Steam will be able to offer like a convenience quality of life edge over the Epic Game Store that Epic can't offer. And so somebody asked Gabe in an interview, are you guys open to having the Xbox Game Pass on Steam? And Gabe was like, yeah, we are. And he also went on to say that like, the interviewer asked him, like, well, are you guys developing anything like a competitor or like a similar product, like a Steam Pass? And Gabe said he doesn't really sees that as part of like Valve's strategy, like the idea of a inclusive subscription kind of thing, and that he thinks that like the best thing that Valve can do would be to like let somebody offer something like that on the store. Like that there's no reason for Valve to develop something like that. And it has mentioned that there has been conversations between Valve and Microsoft regarding the idea of Game Pass on Steam. And like I know that this is the kind of thing that we have speculated about more than once on the show. We've talked about the idea of like Game Pass on Steam and Game Pass on Switch, and it just seems to be that like this is the first time somebody from Valve has publicly acknowledged that those conversations are happening, and the person who has done so is Gabe. So what do y'all think? Do you think this is going to go anywhere?
I think it'll go about as far as Microsoft asking Valve to do anything. And then once that happens, the project will die.
What do you think that they would ask of Valve?
I have no idea. Maybe they'd ask Valve, hey, can you aggregate a list of games that you'd be interested in offering for the price of subscription on the service? And they would either say something between no or we'll get to it and never do anything about it. Because I think like Gabe's response is very much in the vein of, our resources aren't dedicated towards curation, and we don't want to allocate energy in that space in the near future. Which makes sense. It sounds consistent with the way that Valve has run up until now. And if Game Pass on Steam is to offer games that already exist on Steam or games that don't currently exist on Steam without being a straight up like new launcher, that requires work on Steam's end. And they seem to be very happy with the amount of work they've been doing up until
now. I did imagine a possible roadblock, and which is that, like, there's the thing about Game Pass which I don't see like Valve having any quarrel with, which is, you know, Microsoft allowing for like a one size fits all subscription to games which are published by Microsoft. But like the other part of Game Pass, which is part of what makes it such a good deal, is that there is a whole bunch of games which are published by indie developers which rotate in and out of Game Pass, right? You know, and that's part of what makes right now Xbox such a good deal for indie fans. That like, oh, okay, this really cool looking indie game. Oh, it's on Game Pass. I don't even have to pay money to try it. Like, it's just already there for me. And part of Valve's, like, I could see something like Game Pass being available in its current form on Steam, actually taking a chunk out of their like summer sale volume.
Yeah,
yeah, that's where I think that like, I think that the thing that like Valve would ask of Microsoft that would be a stalling point is, we'll do it, but we don't want the indie games in it. And that's where I think they would meet the impasse. Yeah. Do we have any more news?
Yeah, just one more thing, real quick. Evo, or I guess Endeavor, which runs Evo now, has announced that Super Smash Bros. Will not be a part of Evo this year.
KO!
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It turns out that negotiations have stalled with Nintendo. The phrasing that they use is, we are saddened that Nintendo has chosen to not continue that legacy with us this year. There are a couple of things that put this into context. One is that Nintendo is already in a standing deal with Panda Global to put on a series, albeit limited series, of Super Smash Bros. Tournament content, which is supposed to have cash prizes. You would think it's weird that they would mention cash prizes, but Nintendo has absolutely ran tournaments that they expected pros to show up to and offered a single GameCube controller as a second place prize. Meanwhile, you know, like, because Evo uses like the pots and whatnot, like, whoever wins Evo will win like 5, if not 6-digit dollars from like for their trouble. But Panda Global currently has a standing deal with Nintendo to put on a series of tournaments. And also, Nintendo has not been friendly to like the grassroots Smash community over the past decades, plural at this point. So it's not super surprising. And there is one more thing that may add additional context to this, is that since Endeavor is now in charge of Evo, and Sony was a large part of the sale of Evo to Endeavor, there is some idea that Sony's presence behind the tournament is a contributing factor to this decision.
Oh, yeah.
As it stands, Sony/Endeavor has confirmed that that the tournament itself is platform agnostic. That there are multiple games from multiple publishers and that are played on multiple systems there, even though Sony systems have historically been the system of choice at Evo. There may be some other interaction that may be complicating that this year, but that is the news. No Smash Bros. At Evo this year. Who knows if it'll ever come back?
I hope Not just from like a got 'em fuck 'em perspective, that there is a platform fighter that rises because of this.
I mean, there may be. I don't know if they'll reach the same space, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It'd be great to see that Nickelodeon game get its moment. Guys, can we pause for a second?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I will be back.
Oh, he like left.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I think it's just bio.
Oh. I was thinking if it was bio, you just mute though.
Well, we do that, but Brian doesn't do that.
Oh, yeah, fair. Fair!
I am very hungry, though.
Me too. Alex is supposed to be figuring out food. I'm gonna ask if he has idea. Oh, he just texted me. Amazing.
Incredible. Tegan, I ate a burger on stream yesterday.
You did?
Yeah, I stopped for a moment because we were, Moy and I were trying to fight that one boss, and he said he was going to take a break, so he got off, and so instead of like continuing to like grind or do other stuff, I decided to pause for a moment to try to collect my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that over lunch. I had the burger already there, so I just sat there and ate my burger, and then Tempest showed up. And he felt like he wanted to talk about Ukraine, or, kind of just decompress a little bit because, like,
right.
He's in Germany, he's in the military, and they're involved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
was he doing that over stream, like, on your video?
Yeah, he was,
okay.
Yeah, so I switched to, like, the like, just chatting, like, shot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't the gameplay anymore, and I just ate my burger while, like, I chimed in from time to time. And, like, Red popped up. He was like, did someone say something about Ukraine?
Ren is very, I think he's a political science major.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're a political science major, so.
Yeah, he mentioned it. They didn't really get into it. I think Ren took the opportunity to say that based off of his study in the course of his degrees, he could admit that it is, in fact, complicated.
Ren uses they.
They.
I fuck that up all the time, but Ren uses they.
Okay, Ren uses they. I didn't know
I made a post-it note about it, and I stuck it on my monitor, and I still fuck it up.
Ren,
put it back up there.
Mercury uses they.
Yeah, Ren uses they them.
Okay. I am gonna have tacos, but I have to make them with my hands. It's not a bad trade, because I usually like the tacos I make with my hands, but like I do have to do it. Gotta do the motions. Okay, but Foy Coco. Okay, so
Foy Coco is goofy. Coco's goofy.
I get what you're saying.
Foy Coco can take a hit. Cat cannot.
So
Cat's a little bitch.
I know that. Okay, so no, I realize now because when you said that like you're reading like these things as if these are like the character associations, like Foy Coco would be Sora in this situation. But the way that I read it was like the choice at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts where you choose one of the items to take with you.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And like Foy Coco took the Keyblade. I don't know if he dropped the shield yet, but I wouldn't mind if he did. But he definitely picked the Keyblade.
Yeah, no, okay. For the beginning stuff, Foy Coco definitely picked the Keyblade. But for character associations, see, I saw a duck with magic staff, and like that's Donald. Yeah. That's it. So like, and I'm like, no, like we've been to the Pride Lands before. Goofy is the dinosaur.
No, that's pretty good actually. Oh shit.
I was just like, I've never seen a take so wrong.
Okay, I actually, shit, hold on. I gotta write this down, but I think what I might do is take that little bit and turn it into a thing, but I need this image, so I'm gonna...
What little bit? Oh, the part where we're just discussing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I ruined it. Oh, I have to show you my thing.
Okay.
I have a new model. I have 2 models now.
Oh, do you now?
I do. I'm so fancy. I'm so fancy with my 2 models.
Oh man,
I'll send it to you on Discord. I'll send you the video I sent Gata. There's nothing going on in it. It's literally just like how my thing works.
Welcome back!
Congratulations! Welcome in!
All right.
Can I still paste photos into this? No, I can't. I have to open a document like a loser. Okay, and then, man, I like sticky notes, but it just doesn't have the function that I want it to have. Okay. I gotta find out if they have an Instagram. Oh, they're a business owner in Japan? Alright. Maybe they don't have an Instagram. No, they do. Is it the same thing? Taikimochi? Taikimochi. Okay, yeah, cool.
Taikimochi?
Yeah, that's probably how that's supposed to go.
I want to meet you feelings? That's so cute. It's literally like the feeling of wanting to meet. Wow, that's so cute.
Let's go.
What is this?
This is a phone that Skeleton Pup just posted on Twitter. I want you to tell me how much you think that phone costs.
I'm afraid now. Originally, when you first put it here, I was gonna say like $150 to $200.
Okay.
But now that you're asking how much, I feel like it's going to be something astronomical, like $1,500.
It's not that high. It's definitely not that high for sure.
Okay, but it's not that low either.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to go with my original $150 to $200 maybe.
Okay. This phone retails for $379.
Oh, okay. That was better then. That's still a lot for this phone, I think.
What about this phone?
Oh, that looks like a Japanese phone. Like, this phone looks like something I would buy in Japan as like a between like my flip phone and my actual smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
$98.
That would also be nice. That one retails for $369.
Jesus Christ, why?
Yeah,
why is it so much? Whom's the hell? Whom's the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. But yeah, Kit posted about them, so... yeah, but... Yeah, okay. I'll leave that alone. We were talking about something. Evo! Brian, you had thoughts, I think.
Evo!
Before you stepped away.
Yeah, so... I think that, like... I think that Sony's position definitely has to impact Nintendo's decision-making. Where... Nintendo has this, like, I'll call it, like, quasi-friendly relationship with Microsoft, because Microsoft is a technically a third-party developer for Nintendo. Like, they have to go do the whole, like, third-party dev stuff for them because of, Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft and Ori. Meaning that, like, once a year, Phil Spencer puts on his third-party dev hat and sits down with Nintendo. They don't have that with Sony. And also, like, Smash Bros. Is, like, theoretically in a place right now where, like, Nintendo is, I guess, in between.
Which was in the series?
Exactly. Like previous like entertaining or dealing with like the community has like from a business standpoint like made sense to them because you're like, oh, okay, well, like we're still theoretically like peddling new content for this. Like right now, Smash Bros is a game at rest. Like they're like Smash Bros Ultimate is done. We have introduced all the characters, all the content is out there. We have nothing new to push. Like we have no interest in this. Not like what I think would have been interesting is if like and it might have been possible if like Nintendo had a less adversarial relationship with Sony, would be like if Nintendo had come back to Evo and said like, hey, we're not necessarily interested in putting like Smash in the tournament because right now we're really between games there, but would y'all be interested in little Mario Tennis for this tournament? Because like I definitely heard a lot of people who consider themselves like active in like the fighting game fan community speak very highly of that.
Oh yeah, Aces is great.
Right, and like speak very highly of it in like in the context of like thinking about it as a fighting game. And it would have been neat to see the game positioned as such. But I guess Nintendo doesn't even have the incentive for that kind of like, radical thinking right now. Like Nintendo either thinks they're promoting a game or they don't. Like for them, it's like very binary. Like once they were done with supporting ARMS, they were done with supporting ARMS. And like right now they're not supporting Smash. Like, but I would like to have seen them, participate with a game that they were actively supporting, like Aces. But they don't have a working relationship with Sony really. So like that's not going to happen.
Nintendo hasn't actually had a working relationship with Evo, to be honest. Like the standing agreement, as far as I understand, and I'm not a lawyer, but I've definitely been paying attention to this, is that Nintendo allowed them to run a tournament. They didn't sponsor anything. They actually didn't show DLC for Smash at Evo tournaments. Like none of that actually happened. All that came directly through Nintendo Directs. So like they didn't get like priority like teasers, they didn't get toys, they didn't get sponsored, or like they didn't help with the prize pool or anything. They simply allowed them to run the tournament. And I think here, and it may be a bigger part of how like Evo now has like corporate like owners, is that they don't want they want something from it, and that wasn't the initial agreement. Like before, like now Nintendo is actively disincentivized from just letting them do a hands-off tournament that they have nothing to do with because Sony's involved, but also Sony's not paying them anything for the privilege of showcasing their game at their tournament, and they feel like they should be getting paid something for that. That's the way that I see it.
Okay. I'm with that. I think that's news.
Yeah.
Is that news?
Yeah, that's news.
Are we newsed? Mm-hmm. Okay. Little housekeeping. I was planning on restarting Patreon services in March. That is now no longer happening. Stay tuned to find out if it happens for April. So at some point we may start dancing to you about Patreon again. In the meantime, if you're an active patron, please understand you are not currently being billed. And if you are thinking about patronizing us, please patronize us in sending us rude emails, but don't patronize us in trying to send us money because we're not currently accepting it. Rocky, take us home.
Hey everyone, this has been our show. It's called Impossible Coin. We're on every other week schedule right now. I can't use bi-weekly because it's been bastardized so much. But that is our current schedule. You can find us wherever podcasts are found. iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and SoundCloud. We are The music at the beginning and end of this podcast, holy shit, was produced by our friend Big Sach, who recently got engaged. Good for fucking him. You can find him on Twitter at Hillary_Swank. You know, congratulate him on his engagement. Check in with his band. You know, do the due diligence. He deserves it. And you can find his work on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ. Our logo is also a t-shirt, and it was designed by Lauren Moran. You can find her on Twitter at Lauren Moran and consider donating to her Patreon. Because, again, she does great work. Always slaps. We are also on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Tegan's on... Wait, no, that's wrong. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Brian is on Twitter. Tegan is on Tumblr.
Yes.
And it's all Impossible Coin. No dashes or underscores or anything weird like that. If you see anything weird, please let us know. Because again, if there are imposters, we'd like to deal with them accordingly. You know, you can't let them just hang around. But that's us. That's the show.
Yeah. I did want to shout out Lauren on a couple big contracts that she just landed. She's doing the official cover artwork for Jack White's new solo album.
All right.
So, you know, that's awesome for her. And also has got an expanded contract with Topps for trading cards. So I continue to absolutely just be mind blown that we have such a great logo from such an in-demand commercial artist. Yeah. That's so neat. That's so neat. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.